Welcome back live to one of college football's loudest venues, Kyle Field, where today Texas A&M plays host to number 6 Texas. It has been a Thanksgiving weekend tradition since 1901. Texas is tied with Oklahoma in the Big 12 South. If the Longhorns are to win the division outright and advance to the conference championship game next weekend, they'll have to beat A&M today and hope for a major upset by Oklahoma State at Oklahoma tomorrow. Oklahoma wins the tiebreaker by virtue of its head-to-head victory over the Longhorns. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough along with Ed Cunningham. We hope your Thanksgiving weekend is off to a terrific start. Certainly, the Texas Longhorns have been on a great roll since their only loss of the season against Oklahoma. They've won 5 in a row since then, averaging 47 points per game. And right now, the Texas coaches say Chris Sims is playing as well as any quarterback in the country.
A lot of people, including myself, thought that Major Applewhite should have been the starter at the outset of the season. And Chris Sims struggled early on to make us think that we may be right. But of late, Sean, you are absolutely right. His mechanics have gotten better. He's always had a great arm, but he's able to set and throw. And with this bevy of receivers that he has been on fire. The first 5 ball games, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And in the last 5 games, amazingly, 16 touchdowns against 2 interceptions. But when you talk about Texas's offense, you have to talk about balance. And they developed that after the Oklahoma game when they found a guy named Cedric Benson, a true freshman, played sparingly in the first 5 games. He's on his way to a 1,000-yard season. Not as strong as you think he is, not as fast until he starts running away from everybody. 105 yards, and he will become the first Texas freshman to ever run for 1,000. But he's going up a very stiff Texas A&M defense.
As a matter of fact, that A&M defense has not allowed a 100-yard rusher this season. You have to go back 13 games for the last time somebody rushed for 100. Against the Aggies, they have some of the outstanding individual defenders in the conference.
It's amazing, really, what they've done, how long A&M has had to stay on the field. And today there'll be some key matchups. One of them will be Sammy Davis, their very best corner coverback, will draw one-on-one coverage against Roy Williams. We'll find out early how that matchup goes out. The other thing that they have to do is get Gerard Penwright involved. He has not had a sack in the last 3 games. With this noise, him coming off the edge, getting any kind of clue, he could get a big sack early.
A&M trying to avoid ending the regular season on a 3-game losing streak. The big problem lately has been the offense. The Aggies have not scored an offensive touchdown in the last 2 games against Texas Tech and Oklahoma, but they do have a terrific middle of the offensive line.
A lot of injuries, but these 3 guys have started every single ball game, and the middle, Seth McKinney, the best center in all of America, here against Tommy Harris, a fantastic defensive tackle for Oklahoma. He is the key. If A&M's going to have any success, they've got to run it between the guards.
This stadium is loud, in part because they practiced. Last night, more than 25,000 Aggie fans showed up for yell practice. Among those in attendance, Texas Senator Phil Gramm.
Diversity, so long to the orange and the white.
Hey, Hallie Eisenberg drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Halle Berry. Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Halle Berry.
You know?
I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick?
Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist in regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
Last winter we had a little cell phone mix-up.
He told our travel agent Steamboat Springs, but with the static, well...
You know, we tried to make the best of it. Come on, kid. There we go.
I want hot cocoa!
That's when we finally got free and clear with Sprint PCS. Real clear calls, and nationwide long distance included, which is great for us because we do have 2 kids.
Hey!
The Sprint PCS free and clear plan with nationwide long distance included. Every minute, every day.
It's very clear our love is here to stay.
Heading home for the holidays? See your Chrysler dealer first for the security of 7-year or 100,000-mile powertrain protection on any new Chrysler. Plus, we've extended 0% APR on select 2002s through January 8th.
We're here.
Our love is here to
great car at a great rate. Call or click Thrifty.
Welcome back to Aggieland, where Texas has won only one time since 1983. That was in 1995. Down on the sideline, here's Wesley Goodell with R.C. Slocum.
Sean, in 13 years as head coach here, R.C. Slocum's teams have only lost 7 games, but a tough task today. Coach Slocum facing the #2 Texas defense, and you have an offense that's been riddled with injuries. As far as Jamar Taylor, your leading receiver, and Derek Farmer, your leading rusher, what is their status and how's the offense holding up?
Well, unfortunately, neither one of those young men are suiting up. They haven't practiced, and they're both injured and didn't suit up for the game. We'll start Keith Joseph at tailback and Terrence Thomas, a true freshman, at receiver.
Coach, thank you. Chris Sims has said in the past this is the hardest place he's ever had to play. The noise is going to be at a fever pitch this afternoon, Sean.
Indeed it will be. Mac Brown used Chris Sims at quarterback the last trip to College Station 2 years ago when Major Applewhite was sick. And Chris Sims and the Longhorns lost. Their only victory here since '83 was in 1995, the last Southwest Conference meeting between these two. David Pino will kick off. Pino's one of 3 kickers used by Mac Brown. The ball blew off the tee just as he approached it. And had trouble finding somebody who can kick off well consistently. David Pino, Dusty Mangum, and Dan Smith have all tried it. Today they're starting with the true freshman Pino from Wichita Falls, Texas. He's kicking off with a gusty breeze at his back. Texas won the toss and deferred, so A&M elected to take the football, and Mac Brown wisely took this gusty breeze blowing at about 20 miles per hour from right to left as we look down on it from the press box.
I really like that decision, Sean. Might as well come out, and A&M's had trouble throwing the ball. They have new receivers in there. Make Mark Ferris early in this game throw into the wind. He's trying to counteract some of this noise his team's going to have to deal with early.
Sammy Davis and Terrence Thomas back deep. You heard R.C. Slocum, the bad news. They're playing without their leading receiver, Jamar Taylor, and their leading rusher, Derek Farmer, due to more injuries. Terrence Thomas, true freshman, stopped near the 25-yard line. They'll spot him down at the 24. Tackle made by Irvis Hill. Mark Ferris, the 26-year-old junior quarterback, one of the best passers in A&M history, but with an inexperienced cast around him and an injury-plagued offense throughout this season, he has not had as fine a season as he had last year. He still managed to throw for nearly 200 yards per game. Last year, the Aggies threw for 235 yards per game. As R.C. Slocum said, Keith Joseph opens as the tailback, and he drags a tackler with him, the defensive end, Kalen Thornton, able to take him down after a gain of 5. It'll be Weber, the fullback, and Joseph, the tailback. Carragher, a converted defensive lineman, has not caught a pass this year, and the freshmen, both true freshmen, Murphy and Thomas. And the strength of the unit, as Ed said at the top of the telecast, the middle of that offensive line with McKinney making his 49th start. Yates and Whitley, the guards, Mahan, and the true freshman Jamie Hightower, celebrating his 19th birthday today, the tackles. Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 5. Ferris has a man open, and the pass incomplete. Looked like Murphy hesitated in the middle of that route. Ferris thought he was going to stay on the run, and the ball was too long. Up front for the Longhorns, Corey Redding, Maurice Gordon, Marcus Tubbs, and Kalen Thornton. The linebackers, Tyrone Jones, D.D. Lewis, the 4-year starter, and Everett Rawls. And arguably the best secondary in the country. All 4 of them at one time were cornerbacks. Brooks and Vasher made the transition very nicely this year to safety. Vasher has 6 interceptions. Flag thrown from the official on the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field.
Very early on, Sean, we see a ball thrown down the field.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And you already mentioned that Terrence Murphy during that route stopped his route. You can't talk enough about Mark Ferris and the frustrating season he's had to have after the great year last year. Robert Ferguson went to the NFL early. Jamar Toombs went early. He lost all of his big play guys, and then guys that they were counting on got injured. And he's just getting guys lined up. He can't even make a lot of adjustments during the game. because he just has to have guys running the right routes, and they don't do it all the time.
3rd down and 9 after the 5-yard penalty. Ferris in trouble as he rolls left, and he was forced to throw it away. He had Kalen Thornton in his face. And the beat goes on for this Texas A&M offense, performing at a historically low level. They're averaging 120 yards per game rushing, unheard of at A&M. That's their lowest yards per game rushing since 1970, when the Aggies went 2-9.
And that was one thing coming into this year that Dino Babers, the first-year offensive coordinator, came over from Arizona, said they wanted to get back into this offense. They just haven't been able to do it with all the injuries.
Cody Skates just did get the punt off, and they throw a flag as the Longhorns ran into Skates. A very short punt. That'll be down near midfield. It was 4th and 9, and it is personal foul roughing the kicker, and it'll be a first down for A&M. Looked like Dakari Pearson was the Longhorn who hit the punter.
Well, Pearson diving in there, Sean. I don't know how that's a personal foul. I mean, he's diving over the top. I realize that the punter goes down, but to me, that looked like just running into the kicker, a 5-yard penalty.
Against the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Al Dowden is the referee. Skates limped off. They can't afford an injury to him. He doubles as their place kicker as well. Another circumstance due to injury is Chris Sims. Not the same Chris Sims, obviously, as the Texas quarterback was to be their place kicker, but he hurt his back and had to give up football in the preseason.
And that's not the right leg you want to hurt if you're a right-footed kicker. That's the left ankle. That'll be his plant foot, Sean. Very important as he gets through the ball.
Don't think he wants to hurt either foot.
You're probably right.
So it's Ferris in the offense. Back on the field. They can use all the help they can get. Keith Joseph tripped up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Time now for our Jeep game solution.
We've already seen with A&M, they did take a shot early to Terrence Murphy. Sometimes they get caught in that little screen game, and they don't throw the ball down the field. For Texas on defense, they need to sniff everything out. We talk about how A&M likes to be a screen team, Sean, but you and I both agree, to get this crowd into it, we expect something early from A&M, a double reverse pass, something like that. Texas needs to be disciplined on those plays.
They bunch 3 wide receivers to the right of Ferris. Second down, he zings one that's deflected en route and falls incomplete, intended for Terrence Murphy. Derek Johnson, a true freshman linebacker who is their leading tackler for the season. 73 tackles, had the coverage.
Sean, you know, we talk about all these injured receivers. Timing becomes such an issue. I'm not so sure that this ball was not intended for Terrence Thomas, who's running behind Terrence Murphy. No, that ball was thrown in there to him. It looked like he might have had Terrence Thomas over the top, but good coverage by Texas.
Last time out for A&M, they had just 5 first downs against Oklahoma. And the A&M coaches think this Texas defense might be every bit as good as the Sooners. They're proving it so far. Marcus Tubbs with a sack. Back at the 33-yard line. The sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, brings up another punting situation for the Aggies.
And we said that the strength of this offense was its offensive line. Terrence Thomas was wide open on a post route. They were taking a shot down the middle of the field, had plenty of coverage or plenty of yardage for first down, and Marcus Tubbs beats his man in the middle and makes a sack.
Skates, the punter, as you can see, limping on to the field and coming on a little bit late. The sack for Tubbs was his first. That might be a delay of game call or some movement along the line. Skates still reaching down at that lower left leg. He's hurting.
And it's one thing if he banged it and it's not really that injured, you know, at least you would have time to go out and walk it off. He doesn't have time to do that.
Snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
R.C. Slocum, one of the winningest coaches of his era, 7th winningest coach in the country during his time here at A&M, but with the losses mounting, they're in danger of losing at least 4 games for the 4th time in 5 years. Some of his critics have become more vocal. Not a very good punt. Short and wobbly, and a fair catch made by Nathan Vasher at the 38-yard line. The Texas offense on the field for the first time when we come back after a 35-yard punt.
Everything you build, it's hard to just let go.
It's okay. They're all going to good homes.
After Dad's stroke, he had to go into a nursing home.
Well, it was okay. It was nearby.
Yeah, but it wasn't like home. After a couple of months, we could bring him here and take care of him. He likes it better here. Right, Dad?
Food's better.
Flexible benefits for ongoing care from Mutual of Omaha.
Social life is not much.
Helping families take care of one another for over 90 years.
You gotta have fun. A little bit of celebrating does not bother me.
These are great athletes playing the game of football. That's a celebration. That's fun.
That's because you ain't got no rhythm, man.
It's about individuality, Chris.
It's called professional football. Act like a professional.
Stop talking about professional and organized. They're kids. Let the kids have some fun. We'll show you some fun.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
NFL Countdown, Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
All ready for the big game, Mikey?
I'm all set. I'm all pumped up. Look at this. Check this out.
Oh, that looks great. You can put your arms down now.
Okay. This could be a problem.
Beautiful day, nearly 70 degrees here in College Station, Texas. Chris Sims, as Leslie Goodell mentioned earlier, he said this was the toughest place he has ever had to play when he played here as a true freshman 2 years ago. And the Aggies came back to win that game 20-16. The lefty comes out throwing, complete to Roy Williams. And he's out of bounds, a little bit short of a first down. Run out by Sammy Davis. And that's a matchup of two of the best at their positions in the country. Williams, one of the top receivers. The Longhorns' leading receiver now with 55, and Davis, one of the best covermen in the nation. Sims, the junior from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, with the great pedigree, the son of the great New York Giant quarterback Phil Sims, who is reported to be here today. And Chris hopes that Phil is not wearing a Longhorn hat, or rather an Aggie hat, as he did here 2 years ago. Phil, about 5 minutes before the game, Cedric Benson on the carry and no gain on the play. Phil Sims needed some protection from the Suns. They went and bought a hat and bought an Aggie hat. Chris called it the bonehead move of the season. Benson with Trissel, the blocking fullback. Scaife, an outstanding tight end, and the great threats outside in Williams and Johnson. The veteran Matt Anderson, the center, starting his 34th straight game today. Kirk Hughes back after missing 3 with an ankle problem. And the enormous Mike Williams, listed at 6'6", 345 at tackle. Benson carries on 3rd and short, and if he got it, it's just barely. Gerard Penwright made the tackle.
You know, Sean, you were mentioning Phil Sims, and he talks to Chris a couple of times a week. And early in the season, one thing that he was concerned about with Chris was his drops and how he did not get his feet set in his 5- and 7-step drops. And he's really improved that in the second half of this season.
When we chatted with Chris, he said he talks to his dad every week, and usually his dad offers just 1 or 2 pointers. Moves the coaching to the Texas coaches. They're about 6 inches short of a first down. And it looks like Mac Brown is going to go for it. Why not with the way this offense has performed? At an incredible rate, averaging 47 points per game over the last 5.
Don't need to get fancy here. Just a little quarterback sneak. Get in behind that big offensive line, the right side. Take one step back. I would go behind Kirk Hughes and Williams.
4th and inches from the 48. It is Sims on the keeper, and it's 6'5", 225. Up about 20 pounds since he arrived on campus. He was able to advance the ball a yard and pick up the first down for Coach Brown and the Longhorns.
It's amazing when you go back to what, as we look at the defensive line for Texas A&M, Rocky Bernard is who they think is their best overall lineman.
Warren and Peroni, the rest of the front three in the 3-4 look. Tenwright, their leading sack man. Ryan Gamble, the veteran linebacker with Morris back from injury, and Rodriguez in the secondary. Weston and Davis, the corners. Big play, Jay Brooks back after being out a month with a groin injury, and Terrence Keel, their leading tackler, the safety. Roy Williams dropped right at the line of scrimmage by Sammy Davis. They call him the Candy Man for obvious reasons, as he shares the name with the legendary entertainer who made that song a big hit, and they say it fits because he sticks to the opposing wide receivers as well.
Well, right now he's sticking way off of Roy Williams. He's get Williams one-on-one. He's given him an 8- and 10-yard cushion. That time a really nice job of Davis closing on the short out pass to Roy Williams, and he's going to be tested all day by the 6'5", Roy Williams.
Second down and long. Sims throws on the run, incomplete. He was under pressure as Ty Warren was in pursuit. Brooks and Gamble were coming on blitzes as well. So it'll be third down and just more than 10.
And Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, this is exactly what he said to us, what he wanted to do. He wanted to get Texas into predictable situations so that when it's second and long, they can bring pressure. They can bring 1, 2, and sometimes even 3 more than Texas has in blockers. And that time, Sloan Thomas did not read the hot read, kept on his fade route, and Sims just had to get rid of it.
3 wide receivers. Brett Robin comes in at running back. He's a good receiver. The blitz gets him. Terrence Keel.
Right here, bottom of your screen, and Keel has been on a tear lately. This is as much of an out-and-out blitz as you can. Brought 7 rushers. All the other 4 were back covering one-on-one. You just can't pick that up. Texas has to block that inside out. You can't let a man run free through the A-gap.
Ryan Bradford with a shank off the side of his foot and out of bounds along the far sideline. And the official over there still hasn't stopped. Finally, they'll mark it at the 40-yard line. Just a 19-yard punt. No score of the first quarter in College Station.
Everything you build, it's hard to just let go.
It's okay. We're all going to good homes. You can slow down investing. You can stop investing entirely. But you can't stop daughters from falling in love.
Hi, Daddy.
Which is why your Morgan Stanley financial advisor will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for.
Mack Brown, the Tennessee native, in his 4th year as head coach at the University of Texas. They've won exactly 9 games in each of his first 3 seasons. Chance to win a 10th today. They haven't won 10 games in a year since 1995. After the shanked punt, Mark Ferris in the offense with it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Keith Joseph, the redshirt freshman from Houston, tackled by Maurice Gordon.
Sean, we've been talking the entire game about Texas A&M's offense. With the injuries mounting, they have really gone south in their production. In the first 5 games, of course, 5-0, 127-64, and they've gone the other way, -12. In the last 5 games, Sean, an interesting note, the opponents have had 113 more offensive snaps. They've just not been able to sustain any drives.
And nothing doing for Joseph. Again, it's Maurice Gordon, a senior from Mesquite, Texas. Maurice is married. He and his wife, Sonia, have 2 sons. He's played defensive tackle and defensive end this year. Part of what you were saying about A&M struggles lately, you have to give credit to the fact that they've played some outstanding defensive teams. Oklahoma in their last game. Texas Tech, a pretty good defense 2 weeks ago. Iowa State, Kansas State, and Colorado, the other teams they faced during that time. But a lot of the problems have been of their own doing. There's not enough weapons to make plays and move the chains consistently. 3rd and 10, and the pass incomplete. Looking for Greg Porter, a wide receiver who's missed 5 games with a broken foot, and that has hurt their passing attack. The junior from Keller, Texas, like Mark Ferris, a talented baseball player. Ferris once a minor leaguer in the Pirates organization. Porter spent last summer playing rookie league ball in the Anaheim Angels system.
And early on, Dino Babers, the offensive coordinator, rolling the pocket. He does not want Ferris sitting back there because Texas will get after you with the blitz. He doesn't want him to be a sitting duck.
Skates has this one blocked. Picked up by the Longhorns. It'll be a touchdown for Texas. Blocked by Roderick Babers and run in by Tony Jeffrey.
In a row for Texas A&M that Mack Brown has come after, and Babers comes clean off the left side of the protection of A&M, Sean. They went after it early, probably to try to get some momentum, but now that Cody Skates has a bum left ankle, Mack Brown is going to continue to come after him. Nice job by the starting cornerback, Babers.
5th time Texas has blocked a punt this year. 2nd that Skates has had blocked. Dusty Mangum kicks the extra point. It's a 23-yard return to the block punt. Babers blocked it, and Tony Jeffrey carried it 23 yards. And the Longhorns lead 7-0. 7:44 left in the first quarter in College Station.
As a touchdown boogie coordinator, I'm called upon to be a miracle worker. Like this one kid, Nebraska. This guy is rhythmless.
What do you think you're doing?
So, I worked on him, broke him down.
That's a chicken, but it's not funky.
Build him back up until the moment that I saw him out there, I was proud like a father. When a father sees his little boy grow up and become a ballet dancer.
Bud Light celebrates those who like to celebrate.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
All across the country, people have places to go, things to do, so they go Midas for total car care. Need an alignment? We do that. Air conditioning? We do that. Brakes? We do that. Oil changes? We do that. Batteries too. Of course, mufflers. And we do all that with our certified technicians and our nationwide guarantee. So for total car care, who does it all? Midas. We do that.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
he holds the key to a doorway she never imagined would lead to her own past.
How did you know my name?
A New Alias, ABC Sunday.
Welcome back to our Thanksgiving feast of college football here on ABC Sports, presented by Siemens. Texas, the great offense, the great defense, and the special teams to match. The block punt, run in for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 Longhorns, and David Pino kicks off again. For Terrence Thomas and Mickey Jones. It's the freshman Thomas. He is belted down shy of the 20-yard line. He was hammered by Bo Trahan.
Trahan, who's listed as a backup quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, is also their leading tackler on special teams. He's a holder, and that is right up under the chin. You wouldn't expect a quarterback to be able to hit like that, but he is a terror on special teams for Mac Brown.
They list him at 5'11", 200 pounds. He used all of that frame to lay the wood to the return man, Thomas. From the 19-yard line, Mark Ferris going to do a lot of gesturing around the line of scrimmage to get this inexperienced offense together. That was a good call. Keith Joseph found a hole, and a rare first down for the Aggies. Out to the 30-yard line, a run of 11. It was Tyrone Jones making the stop with help from Ahmad Brooks.
And the difference in that running play compared to ones that we've seen early in the game is it hits very quickly. This is a zone blocking scheme by Texas A&M. Earlier, Dino Babers was calling some traps, some counter-type plays, and because of the speed in the middle for Texas, I think that A&M can overpower them one-on-one, but you cannot have long developing plays against this kind of speed.
Second first down for A&M. The other one was on the roughing the punter penalty against the Longhorns. Ferris has to throw it away. Jermaine Anderson was putting the pressure on Ferris, and Mark's now 0 for 5 passing.
Kind of get the feeling, Sean, that he just has a lack of confidence in some of these guys. That time Terrence Thomas came off. He had one-on-one coverage. The defensive back was so far off him, but he pulled the trigger on it. He didn't want to let it go, and then just a little bit of pressure late. Just doesn't feel comfortable with some of these guys running routes.
Two true freshman wide receivers in there now, and Murphy and Thomas. One to each side. The deep handoff, and Joseph stopped to the line of scrimmage by Kalen Thornton. He's a sophomore from Dallas. His dad, Bruce, played in the NFL and USFL.
And that he starts to show you, Thornton, the recruiting job that Mac Brown is doing here. He was a guy who came in here last year as a true freshman and fought his way onto the field and was really a surprise. Mac Brown has always been known for bringing good talent into the programs back at North Carolina and now here at Texas.
Another third and long. Greg Porter in motion on 3rd down and 10. They try to fool him with the inside handoff, and Joseph is stopped short of the first down. A 7-yard gain, but Roderick Babers dropped Joseph about 3 yards short of the marker, and they'll punt again. They've had problems punting. The first time Skates was roughed and injured. He took a hit from Dakari Pearson, and then on the other punt, it was blocked by Roderick Babers and run in by Tony Jeffrey. So now they go to the backup punter, who hasn't punted this year, and he's certainly not wearing the punter's number, Don Muehlbach, who is the backup long snapper as well. Punting into the wind, and it's a very short, ugly-looking kick, end over end and out of bounds between the 40 and 50-yard line. They're going to mark it. They're still going. They'll mark it at the 47-yard line, just a 15-yard punt. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Mutual of Omaha, providing insurance and financial services.
A game that A&M needed just about everything to go right. Being at home helped, but now you've got a part of the game. Mac Brown talks about his special teams. They're in the top 2 or 3 in every statistical category in special teams. Now they have the backup punter, who's really the snapper. Wouldn't be surprised if they get another block before this one's over.
Cedric Benson. A gain of 2. Let's check in with John Saunders at Times Square Stadium.
Sean, here on the Burger King update. Southern Miss, East Carolina. David Garrard with a pitch to Rich Alston, and watch this pass. This is the second touchdown pass he's thrown this year. On the money to Torrey Morris, 51 yards, 22-16. They get the 2 points after, but trail 25-18 at halftime.
The Pirates of ECU involved a lot of high-scoring games. They score a lot, they give up a lot. Sims, with his man covered, threw it away. He was looking for Roy Williams, but Sammy Davis was right there. Davis was looking forward to this game for a lot of reasons. Last year, when Sims lit up the Aggies for 383 yards and 3 touchdowns, Davis was playing on a sprained ankle, said he was about 65%. R.C. Slocum said he probably shouldn't have even been on the field. Well, he was looking for a chance to atone for his problems last year.
And sometimes in these rivalry games, these coaches need to go with what they see. And last year, R.C. said Sammy Davis was so gimpy during the week, but he fought to get on the field, and it was a bad decision.
Aggies showing blitz, moving along the line. No flag now. The pass is caught. First down. Sloan Thomas into Aggie territory at the 38-yard line.
Now to the 38-yard line. First down.
Looked like Ty Warren was across the line of scrimmage at the snap, but the officials did not throw a flag. Thomas with the reception, his 24th of the year, the sophomore from Houston.
So difficult, Sean, when you're going up against this Texas offense because of the weapons that Chris Sims has. Sloan Thomas, B.J. Johnson, and of course Roy Williams, 3 incredible sophomores. Last year, all 3 of those guys had touchdowns in that amazing third quarter against A&M.
Sims to throw on first down. Benson was open, wide open in the flat, and Chris threw it too far out in front of Cedric.
Maybe a little wound up early. Very emotional player. He felt the pressure early, Sean. He talked about last year, especially at the end of the season. He felt like he had to go out and make so many big plays. Well, in this offense with these players, and now you add Cedric Benson in, Mac Brown and his coaching staff have said just play within the system, and he started to do that. But it looks like he might be just a little geeked up early in this big game.
Sims 3 out of 6. 21 yards. He's been sacked once. 2nd and 10 from the Aggies 38. A bullet for Roy Williams. He ducks under the tackler at the 32-yard line. Rod Penwright credited with the tackle. The junior, son of a Baptist preacher. Rod leads the team Bible study every week and leads them in prayer services before every practice as well.
And right now, the way Texas is playing offense, they're trying to get Penwright out of the mix with 3 and 4 wide receivers. Mac Brown and Greg Davis, his offensive coordinator, are trying to get their best pass rusher away from the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 4. The Horns lead 7-0. Sims throws it out. It's dropped. Very nearly a lateral, but waved down as an incomplete pass. P.J. Johnson couldn't hang on. Christian Rodriguez thought it might be a lateral and took off with the ball, but it was ruled a forward pass. And it'll be 4th down, and the field goal unit is coming on.
He throws it right on the yard stripe. Sean, I think that's a lateral. Tough to tell from that angle. Here we'll get a better look at it, but Rodriguez had the right thought. That looks like a lateral to me, Sean. If anything, it was not parallel to that line. It looked like it was going away from it.
49-yard field goal try for Dusty Mangum with the win, but he pushes it to the right. He has the leg to do it. Made a 51-yarder earlier this year against North Carolina. With a gusty breeze at his back, he didn't get it very high in the air and missed wide right. So the Aggies survive the 15-yard punt.
Sean, I think this might be a lateral. Let me know what you think. Take a look and see if this ball, as it travels down the 35-yard line, see if it doesn't go back just a little bit as Sims releases it out into the flat.
And he's throwing it from just beyond the 36, and that's just about where the ball hit the hands of Johnson. 1st and 10. Aggies at their own 33. 3:37 left in the first quarter. And they're trying the middle, trying to take advantage of the terrific center, McKinney, and those outstanding guards. And Joseph reached the 36-yard line before he was sent back by Marcus Tufts and D.D. Lewis. Last season, Warwick Dunn and Marshall Falk staged a thrilling back-and-forth battle that was decided in the final seconds by Dunn next Monday night. Tampa Bay will try to do it again against the powerful St. Louis Rams team that sits atop its division, the Bucks and the Rams. Monday Night Football on ABC. 2nd and 7. Harris has his man caught by Joe Weber out of the backfield. Still on his feet, dragging horns into Texas territory. Down at the 48-yard line with a gain of 16.
And Texas has so much faith in their defensive backs that they're playing one-on-one coverage over to the left. They have a little bit of help from Ahmad Brooks. But the tiny little play fake there, and what an excellent fake by Joe Weber. He's such a talented fullback. Used to play tailback, so good out of the backfield. He went fake like he was going to cut block. So the linebacker who had coverage on him thought that it was a run. Very nice fake by Joe Weber.
First completion for Ferris. 1 for 6. Joseph hammered. Looked like he had some running room, but he decided to run right into Everett Rawls. Like he had holes to either side of Rawls, but he had a head-on collision with Everett, the senior from Texas City, Texas.
And Sean, we mentioned that Derek Farmer, the guy who usually plays running back, is out. A really nice lead block. It did look like if he took that to the left, there was space. But here's a guy who has not practiced a lot with the first unit. Because that Derek Farmer has been their starting running back the last half of the season, sometimes they don't have a feel for all those different plays.
2nd and 10, and Ferris couldn't even complete his drop. Maurice Gordon, who's had a terrific first quarter, drops Ferris for a big loss back at the A&M 45. A loss of 7 on the play.
Little miscommunication. Here's Gordon lined up in the shaded nose, and Seth McKinney, I believe, was thinking he was going to get help from Taylor Whitley. You have to determine as the center. You have to tell your guard if you're saying that the defensive tackle is on the guard or on the center. That time miscommunication by McKinney and Whitley, who've been playing together for the last 2 years. A little surprised that they wouldn't get that straight.
3rd and 17. A 4-man rush, and still Ferris just in the pocket. Terrence Thomas tripped up well short of the first down. He made it to the Longhorns 44, but he's still about 7 yards short. Everett Rawls, the 3-year starter at linebacker, able to upend him from behind and force a punt, and they're going back to the starting punter, Skates, who was hit on the first punt attempt of the day and hurt his leg, had a second one blocked. Then they went to the backup Mule block for the last punt. His only punt went 15 yards. Now it's Skates, and a timeout called by Texas.
Timeout taken by Texas.
Coming up next, ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast presented by Siemens continues. A trip to the Big 12 championship game will be on the line when top-ranked Nebraska battles number 15 Colorado. That's next right here on ABC. Nebraska's won the last 9, but the last 5 games between the Huskers and Buffs decided by a total of 15 points. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Leslie Goodell.
Well, one of the Longhorns' biggest fans out here on the sidelines, Yankees pitcher Roger Clemens. And what do you think of your team this year?
Well, it's great. We were able to catch the Kansas game right after the season ended, since our baseball season got pushed back into November. So it's been exciting. We got to see Benson a little bit. You know, he's done well in the state. And you know, to be at home now with my 2 older boys and see some football and be here on the sideline. Thank Coach Brown, you know, and his staff for letting us come down and watch some football.
People in Texas know about this rivalry, but people outside of Texas, how would you explain the intensity of this rivalry here?
Well, it's very intense, especially when you're wearing burnt orange and you're in College Station. So it'll get very interesting before the day's over.
Roger, thank you very much.
Okay.
Short punt by Skates, and it took a bad bounce for Cody. It's spotted down at the 24-yard line by Everett Smith, just a 21-yard punt. They're having trouble with the punts, obviously, but you also have to factor in the very gusty breeze into which they're kicking here in the opening quarter. Tomorrow is part of our Thanksgiving feast presented by Siemens. It's a collision of two Big Ten teams. Michigan can clinch the Big Ten title with a win when they host Ohio State. That's tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and we know that the Fighting Illini of Illinois will be watching that closely. They clinched a share of the Big Ten title with their win yesterday against Northwestern. They'll win it outright and be the BCS representative of the Big Ten if the Wolverines lose tomorrow. Cedric Benson trying to become the first freshman to rush for 1,000 yards for Texas. And so far, he has nothing on the board. Christian Rodriguez and Marcus Jasmine drop him for a loss. That's 4 carries now for 0 yards for Benson.
What a nice job by Jasmine and Ty Warren at the point of attack. Linebackers coming in to finish it off. But if Benson's going to have any chance to emulate his hero, Ricky Williams, who always had good games against Texas A&M, he's going to need a better push up front.
Williams to throw on 2nd and long. Throws to the near side, caught by Sloan Thomas. Lawrence Peel wrestled him down with help from Gerard Penwright. That'll be the last play of the first quarter. Texas leads 7-0 on a block punt return for a touchdown. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Circuit City presents The Big Picture. In 1998, Texas A&M and the Kansas State Wildcats battled until double overtime in the Big 12 championship game. In the second OT, A&M's Sir Parker scored the winning TD on a 32-yard reception. What you may not have known is that at the end of regulation, Kansas State had a chance for the win. But quarterback Michael Bishop's Hail Mary went unanswered.
Wow, MP3 player, digital camera, DVD player, very nice. Looks like somebody's kids are going to be very happy this holiday.
Kids! Could you... I'll be right.
We know how you feel, and that's why Circuit City has great gift ideas this holiday season. Circuit City, we're with you.
Hey, my wife loves these things. All wives love things.
Could you...
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces were called into action. Jeep was there when they answered that call and joined together in a noble mission. Now, more than ever, we count on these values of courage, trust, and steadfast resolve in our continuing quest for freedom.
More than 30 years, physicians with University Orthopedics have been treating area athletes for their sports injuries. With offices in 8 locations, University Orthopedic Sports Medicine provides immediate access to advanced diagnostic and therapeutic services for athletes from recreational to collegiate levels, including strength assessment testing and personal rehabilitation programs. University Orthopedics. We've taken sports medicine to another level.
A look at what you'll pay to heat your home this winter, tonight at 11.
Back in College Station, the defenses dominated the first quarter. The two teams combined for just 65 yards of offense, 40 of those belonging to A&M. Well, the Longhorns lead on a block punt return for a touchdown. 3rd down and 9. Sims throws incomplete. Well, the official saying he caught it. Sammy Davis ripped the ball out. The ball came out quickly, but the officials ruled that Roy Williams had it long enough to be a catch and a first down just across the 34-yard line.
Can't ask for better one-on-one coverage for Sammy Davis. The out route, a really nice throw. There's a linebacker out there. Yep, he had the ball for at least 2 steps before.
That ball looks like it's bouncing around a little bit. I'm not sure he ever had it secured, and his arms are up against his chest. They did rule it a catch. And a first down. Sims 6 out of 10 for 39 yards. Benson alone back. He takes the pitch. He's in trouble and down back at the 30 in the arms of Christian Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, a fifth-year senior, pretty much a backup his entire career. They didn't know what to expect. Nice job lining up on the outside. He read this almost like a quick reverse toss to Cedric Benson. But Rodriguez has really stepped up nicely this year. Was a backup for 4 years, continued to work hard, and has been very productive. 5.5 sacks, and he's always in the backfield of the opponent.
Minus 4 yards rushing now for Benson. Second and long on the draw. Benson again ran into Ty Warren. You talked about Christian Rodriguez on the previous play and his perseverance waiting to become a starter. He is an amazing young man, born in New York City, lived in the Dominican Republic from the time he was just a few months old until about age 6. Never knew his dad, who abandoned his family when Christian was a very young boy. His mom went to jail for selling drugs when Christian was 12. He lived with friends and relatives. For 2 years in high school, he lived with his high school coach, graduated in the top 5% of his class, was class president 3 years, and now here at A&M a standout. Sims' arm was hit by Gerard Penwright. And the Aggie fans into it as the Longhorns will have to punt.
Penwright, another guy who had to bide his time here at Texas, lined up as a defensive end. Him and Rodriguez, the outside linebackers. An excellent job working on left tackle Robbie Doan. He has a move called the club. It's a lot like what Reggie White used to do. That time he just used the rip to get by onto Sims.
Well, his teammates don't like it when Penwright uses that club move in practice. He's flipped a couple of offensive linemen right over. Bradford punting into that big wind, and he's victimized by it. Well, the punting has been dreadful on both sides here this afternoon. A 17-yard punt by Brian Bradford, and the Aggies will take over near midfield. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Pontiac. What would you do with some Pontiac excitement? By AT&T, let your business, let your life be boundless. By Circuit City, we know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Morgan Stanley Financial Advisor, who will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for. Here in Aggie land, the Aggies 1st and 10 at the Texas 46-yard line, and nothing doing for Joe Weber, a loss as he's cut down back at the 49 by Maurice Gordon, who's had an outstanding first half at defensive tackle for Texas.
We were talking to Dino Babers, the offensive coordinator for Texas A&M, and he was talking about getting some runs downhill early. Well, they're doing a couple of things where it's taking a little too long. Although that was a fullback dive, there was a fake to Joseph, the tailback, before the handoff. And this defense from Texas, which statistically is actually better than Oklahoma's great defense, there's just too much speed. They've got to start counting with some zone runs.
Take the inside handoff. Terrence Murphy doing the best that he could, but he swung down for a loss by Derek Johnson. They'll mark the ball at the 45-yard line. But a loss on the play of 7, and the A&M offense going in reverse.
And really, Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator from Texas, expected a lot more plays like that. He said A&M is truly a screen team. That time, obviously, all week. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, Texas has. They've been seeing that in practice. That time they had too many guys over there.
Today's 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Pontiac. 3rd down and 19 for the Aggies. Their own 45. Flag down. There was movement along the line. Ferris thinks it's a free play. He's going into double coverage, and it is incomplete. Intended for Terrence Thomas. Ahmad Brooks broke it up. Roderick Babers was nearby, but it looked like the Longhorns might have jumped. And they did. So the Aggies will get another shot at a 3rd down conversion. Corey Redding was in the neutral zone.
Looked like, no question, Redding was in the neutral zone, and that's why Ferris felt like he could take a shot down the field.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
but he let that ball hang too long. He's got the wind at his back. If you get it up there and it hangs a little bit, and Ahmad Brooks, you had mentioned he was a cornerback, and Mac Brown and his staff deciding to go with 4 corners because with spread offenses, they've got guys who can all walk out there and cover. And Ahmad Brooks, Carl Reese said he is really the reason why our defensive secondary has been so good this year.
3 receivers bunched close to the line to the right of Mark Ferris on 3rd and 14. He has time, and the ball's way too long. This is an offense that's just totally out of sync. Terrence Murphy, the intended receiver. Quentin Jammer had the man-to-man coverage with help from Ahmad Brooks. Ferris now 3 out of 9 for 20 yards passing. And Skates comes on to punt again.
This is reminiscent of what we saw Texas A&M against Oklahoma a few weeks ago, that the offense, too many 3-and-outs, and the defense, which is playing at such a high level, is going to start to wear out.
Skates under pressure again, gets it up into the breeze, a wobbly kick. They're in position to down it inside the 10, and they do. Caught out of midair by Byron Jones at the 7-yard line. A 43-yard punt. The Aggie defense has been terrific, but Texas still leads by 7.
What would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac Grand Am for a week?
Now I'm getting psyched. How do you feel? So excited. Gonna grab me. It's gate number 3, right? I'm telling everybody for the rest of my life about this.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Am? Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Want to try that triple Lux?
What the heck? I got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
A what?
No, that something insurance.
Even the best insurance doesn't give you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Behold the legendary Lord of the Rings. Behold Gandalf, the wizard. Behold Frodo, the hobbit. And now they're not just to behold, they're to be held. Now at Burger King, when you behold and buy a Whopper value meal, even when you hold the pickles, get a magical Lord of the Rings light-up glass goblet, just $1.99 each. Collect all 4, and behold Strider, the Ranger, and Arwen, the Elf. They're all yours to have and to hold. The adventure begins here.
What would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac Grand Am for a week?
We're going to drive as fast as we can to San Francisco.
We're doing big things for the Pontiac Grand Am. Big things, baby.
3-car park next 3.
That's 6. How do we get to 3-car? Woohoo! Vegas!
This is like living a dream, baby.
Yeah! Welcome to Vegas, baby. We on the strip, baby.
On the strip.
Oh, yeah!
Girls Gone Wild at the Bellagio.
Yes.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Am?
How you doing?
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, baby.
Washington, Miami, or Notre Dame, Stanford, Saturday night on ABC.
11.5 left in the first half. Texas leads 7-0. The Horns have just 29 yards of offense. Cedric Benson picks up 3, but he still has rushed for just -2 yards today as this Texas A&M defense is shutting down all the big weapons for the Horns.
These are the guys you got to shut down. Roy Williams, Chris Sims getting hit hard by Terrence Keel, and a really nice job by this defensive front of Texas A&M. That's a big, powerful offensive line that they're going up against, and Cedric Benson, -5 yards, now 110 yards for going over the 1,000-yard mark.
Sims off the play action, throws it from the goal line over the head of Matt Trissel, the fullback. Gerard Penwright forced Sims to throw it quickly. 6 of 12 passing now for 39 yards for the junior Sims.
A play fake to Cedric Benson and then a naked boot, and Gerard Penwright does not bite at all. Got a nice shot on Sims. Penwright has not had a sack in 3 ball games, and although he hasn't had a sack early today, he has been a factor getting up the field.
Hagen stop. Texas here. The Aggies should get it back with great field position as the Longhorns would have to punt into this Big wind. 2 out of 6 on 3rd down, Texas. Sims zips one incomplete, a little bit low and behind Roy Williams. So this high-powered offense, averaging 41 points per game for the season, 4th in the nation, has done next to nothing. 32 yards so far for the Longhorns of offense and 3 first downs. Nearly 4.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Such a nice job by Mike Hankwitz, giving different looks to Chris Sims. He looks a little bit confused right now.
Brian Bradford standing in the end zone. Low, wobbly punt. Mickey Jones caught it at the 40. And is knocked down after return of 1 yard. Irvis Hill, another special teams tackle, his second of the day. A 30-yard punt, a 1-yard return. Time now for the Aflac trivia question. In 1956, the Aggies were 9-0-1 under Bear Bryant, which 2 co-captains of that team went on to become NFL head coaches. There's the legendary Coach Bryant, coached here in the mid-50s. Texas A&M with 31 yards of offense and 3 first downs so far. Ferris off target, looking for Joe Weber.
I think Dino Babers, the offensive coordinator for R.C. Slocum, they're moving the pocket, and Ferris just does not look sharp as he's running around trying to throw it. He usually moves and throws very well. They might want to try to get something just to get some kind of rhythm for Ferris. He's not had a very good start. He's had a couple of guys open, just 3 of 10 for 20 yards so far. But maybe just something short, a little out route or something, so he can get some kind of flow into the game.
Running the option. Doubling catch made by Joseph. He puts his head down and gets near a first down at the 30. He's about a yard short. Ahmad Brooks made the tackle.
Keith Joseph was a guy that earlier in the year was starting before they discovered Derek Farmer, who's out with a hyperextended knee today. This little option look, you're not going to see a lot of this. Very nice hands by Joseph bringing that in, but he's 221 pounds. He's not a shifty guy. He's going to run right into some people. 105 yards rushing early in the season against Wyoming, so he's been there and done that.
Backfield on 3rd and short. Weber, first down to the Texas 26-yard line. D.D. Lewis and Quentin Jammer made the tackle.
Joe Weber gives you such a nice weapon on offense, and the way that Mark Ferris has looked a little shaky. They've been pretty good up front for Texas A&M so far. That offensive line doing a nice job. Start mixing Weber and Joseph in there. Take a little heat off Ferris, and then maybe the play action will start to become a factor later in this quarter and into the second half.
Aggies taking advantage of the good field position. Trying to score for the first time in more than 9 quarters. Touchdown, that is. Joseph on first down gets 2 to the 24-yard line. Maurice Gordon, another stop.
And the other thing, too, Sean, with them trying to establish the running game, you mentioned earlier that they're averaging the least amount of rushing yards they have since 1970. But they have to give this defense a rest. As well as they played with Texas and the weapons that they have on offense, this defense from A&M needs a little breather here going into the end of the half.
A&M does have a 4-minute advantage in time of possession right now, 12 and change to 8 and change. Harris on second down, again the design rollout. Has his receiver at the 20-yard line, but the ball comes out of the hands of Mickey Jones. An incomplete pass, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
You mentioned these defensive backs for Texas. And the way that Texas is lining up and playing defense today, because they know that A&M has struggled. These guys are going to be one-on-one all day. Quentin Jammer, we haven't called his name today, a Thorpe Award finalist for Texas, because he has locked up every receiver, one of the most physical defensive backs, and he plays opposite Roderick Babers. They are an amazing tandem.
On 3rd and 8, sets up a screen, and Weber is belted down immediately. Zachary Pearson, who comes in as a nickelback. Nice play by the sophomore from Dayton, Texas. Cody Skates on to try a field goal. Remember, he's also the punter who injured his leg when the Longhorns roughed him on the first punt of the day. We'll see if that has any effect on the field goal kicking. Strong breeze at his back. 42-yard field goal try. Wes Bodovich, once a quarterback, is the holder. With a long field goal of 48 this year, that wasn't close. That was an Ed Cunningham tee shot. Duck hook, low and left all the way. We mentioned he only took over the field goal kicking duties this year when Chris Sims, who would have been their field goal kicker, had trouble with his back. Not even close. Still 7-0 Horns.
All around the world, Siemens provides hospitals and doctors with the tools they need to make the right decisions right away. From diagnostics to patient information to care management, we're doing our part to help people everywhere feel better.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
Ho, ho, ho!
Oh, I hope you didn't put all those on the credit card.
Yeah, why?
Do you know what those interest charges are going to do to us?
Don't worry. I used our new Capital One no-hassle card.
Fed up with exploding credit card rates? To the neighbors! With Capital One's new no-hassle Platinum card, you get one low fixed rate and none of the hassle.
Gotta tell Steve and Laura about Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Set your clocks because this Saturday, starting at 7 a.m., save an additional 10% on practically everything in the store.
This includes Craftsman, Kenmore, Reebok, Trader Bay, JDC, Sam Sui, Leather Outerwear, David Taylor, Levi's.
Get up early for 10% off Saturday from 7 to noon only at Sears. Where else?
How can you provide for the future of the people who depend on you? With Pacific Life and its expertise in investments, annuities, and insurance, discover the power of Pacific Life.
Sean McDonough at Cunningham, Leslie Goodell back in College Station, Texas. Defenses continuing to dominate. The Horns lead 7-0 on a block punt return for a touchdown. Cedric Benson stacked up again for no gain. Amon Simon, a backup linebacker, leading the defensive surge. He's a senior from Houston.
You go back and you look at the kick by Cody Skates. Watch how gingerly he runs up to this ball. He has no force with his left foot. He's trying to do everything with his right foot. Hence the Ed Cunningham duck hook, because he has to over-rotate with that right leg. They have to consider putting Matt Douglas in if they have any more attempts. I know he has no attempts this year, but that just didn't look good for Cody Skates.
Antoine Kirk Hughes, the senior offensive guard from Waxahachie, is the injured player. He's missed the last 3 games with a high ankle sprain. He's a 3-year starter. Honorable mention all Big 12 each of the last 2 years. A key member of this offensive line. They've had some injuries to the backups as well. Tillman Holloway and Bo Baker have been banged up. And again, it looks like the ankle might be troubling Kirk Hughes again. Let's check in with Leslie Goodell.
Sean, Cody Skates actually went and had that ankle x-rayed. The x-rays came up negative, so they called it an ankle sprain, and that's why he's come back in the game, because he feels he's okay to kick, obviously struggling right now.
Second and 10 from the 25. Benson still with -2 yards rushing on 8 carries. Lots of room this time for Roy Williams. The ball's out, and it is kicked out of bounds. Nothing but Aggies around the ball, and they kick it out of bounds. And that's the way it's gone of late for Texas A&M. Not only they kick it out of bounds, but it added yardage to the play for Texas out to the 44-yard line.
Sean Weston, who was covering one-on-one with Williams that time, gets in there, and Roy Williams just didn't lock that ball away. That was nothing special by Weston, who, like Sammy Davis, giving plenty of cushion to the very speedy Roy Williams, and Roy just needs to lock that ball away a little more. And Sean, that's another 8 or 9 yards. You're right, things just cannot go right for Texas A&M.
Tillman Holloway, number 61, has come in at guard for Antoine Kirk Hughes. He was a starter last year. He has plenty of experience. 1st and 10 from the 36. Midway through the second quarter. Sims. Almost intercepted by Amon Simon.
4-3 defense. Simon lined up right here as he takes his drop. Every quarterback will tell you, the linebackers, they're like UFOs. You just don't see them. Nice drop by Simon. The quick slant route into the receiver, and Simon's going to be beating himself up for a long time because he may have returned that a long way.
On 2nd and 10, Sims in trouble. He's across the line, pulled down from behind at the 42-yard line. A gain of 6. Linus Smith, the backup defensive lineman who plays a lot, made the tackle. He's a sophomore from Tyler, Texas, a cousin of the Aggies wide receiver and punt returner Mickey Jones.
Change up, defensive ends become linebackers. That time a very nice job by Ty Warren getting Sims out of the pocket. We've talked about the health of the A&M offense, but Mike Hankwitz, defensive coordinator, said that this is as healthy as his defense has been in over a month because of that bye week, able to rotate some guys in on that defensive front and keep them fresh.
Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers on 3rd and 4. They blitz against it. Sims throws it incomplete. Not on the same page with Sloan Thomas. Byron Jones had the coverage, and the Longhorns will punt again. Sims won for his last 6 now.
And here's where that wind starts to become a factor now that the quarter has changed. Now Texas will be punting into the wind. A&M already going to end up with decent field position, but you got to think it'll be aided. A lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, maybe a rush.
Bradford with a good punt this time into the wind. Mickey Jones caught it at the 18. And he's down at the 23-yard line. Bo Trahan made the tackle. 6:15 left in the first half. Texas leads 7-0.
Elway nothing, and I like John, but my 7-year-old could have scored against that soft coverage.
You're saying Elway went 98 yards because the Browns played to prevent defense?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Sterling, I don't think so. I played in the game. It was a great drive. Why you dissing Elway anyway?
No reason. But what are you going to do about it?
Come on, won't you cry about it? Come on, Sterling. Do it again.
NFL Countdown, Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
AT&T's broadband technology can expand your company's growth potential with virtual private networks, secure, scalable, high-speed telecommunication systems that can take any shape you like. Hey, to each his own.
You can slow down investing. You can stop investing entirely.
There was one man who had a funny hat.
But you can't stop curious toddlers from one day becoming college freshmen.
And there was a small man that someone put him in a bird cage.
Which is why your Morgan Stanley financial advisor will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for.
And
we haven't cured cancer. We don't know how to close the hole in the ozone layer. We can't control the weather or the crops or hunger. We can't keep the sun from burning out one day. And we can't stop war. Yet. We're Texas.
ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast is presented by Siemens. Siemens Global Network of Innovation.
Seven 0 Texas. And the struggles of the A&M offense will not diminish the enthusiasm of this crowd. The Longhorn offense has been just a little bit better by 4 yards. We'll combine these two teams for under 100 yards. For more than a quarter and a half. Ferris almost lost the handle right off the snap. Managed to hand it off to Keith Joseph, who picked up a yard. Maurice Gordon made another tackle. Time to answer our Aflac trivia question. They were undefeated with one tie in 1956 with the Aggies under Bear Bryant. Two co-captains went on to become NFL head coaches. Gene Stallings and I don't know.
Not even close on the second. Can't even get a guess.
Jack Pardee. It's a good trivia question. Ferris sets up a screen. This one is promising. Joseph out to the 38-yard line. Derek Johnson, the freshman, made the tackle. A gain of 16. Texas was expecting a lot of screens from the Aggies, but still A&M managed to pick up 16 on that one.
Mark Ferris with the play fake to Joseph, rolls to his right, comes all the way back. A really nice job of selling the fake. A&M had been moving the pocket early on with Ferris just going to right or left and throwing that way. This time, Dino Babers takes advantage of that flow action that he's been running early on. It comes all the way back to Joseph. A really nice call by Babers.
Joseph, the tailback. Stacy Jones in at fullback now. Play action pass. Ferris with a rare deep ball, and it's too deep, and it is intercepted. Ahmad Brooks with a second interception of the year, and the Longhorns take it back on their 5-yard line. Terrence Thomas was the intended receiver.
You cannot discount how strong this wind is, Sean. And Mark Ferris was used to throwing into the wind in the first quarter, comes out in the second quarter, now throwing against the wind. In golf, it would be, I would say, about a 2-club wind. He's just got to take some off of this ball. Didn't exactly have Terrence Thomas running free wide open, but Ahmad Brooks, again, a sensational guy. They did not know how he would adjust going from cornerback to playing center field. Well, Carl Reese has said, better tackler than we thought and a much better free safety than we expected.
Well, given the problems they're having with their punters, the injury to Skates, may not be such a bad thing for A&M in this game of field position. They have the horns going into the wind back on their own 5-yard line. Benson finds the running. Very difficult again. Kevin Peroni and Brian Gamble made the tackle. Coming up on the Capital One halftime show, John Saunders and Terry Bowden will have their end-of-the-year awards, and Terry takes a look at 2 age-old Nebraska traditions, football and farming, on the Capital One halftime show.
Texas needs to be very careful here, Sean. I know they got second and long, but they cannot do something stupid. Sims has almost thrown 2 picks today. I think they need to stay conservative with the way the A&M offense is playing.
Sims out of the end zone, incomplete, looking for Bo Scaife, the tight end. When we spoke with Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for the Aggies, and we asked him, this is such a great offense you're playing against, you prioritize the weapons you want to take away. He said, well, we have to start by stopping the run, and boy, have they done that to Benson today, who has 9 carries for 0 yards.
And now here in the second quarter in a close game, now they have the wind as their on their side, so things playing into the hands for Mike Hankwitz.
Brett Robin comes in passing situations, the lone back. 4 receivers spread the formation. Shovel pass to Robin with some running room, and a first down for Texas. Out to the 19. Sammy Davis made the tackle on Robin, a sophomore from Austin out of Westlake High School. He's played tailback and fullback for the Longhorns.
This is such a nice call by Greg Davis. This was a play, the shovel pass, the players weren't excited about. They put it in before that Colorado game, Sean, and remember the play right before the half when Sims pitched it to Cedric Benson. He took it 40 yards, and really Texas went ahead on that drive for good in that ball game.
Good block on that play by Roy Williams to help spring Robin for the first down. From the 19, under 4 minutes left in the half. Sims on target to Roy Williams. Another first down to the 34. Sammy Davis made the tackle. 6 catches, 49 yards for Williams after a 15-yard gain. Time for the Pontiac drive summary. They're moving now after 4 punts and a missed field goal on the last 5 possessions.
And we've talked about how good this Texas offense has been in the last 5 games, but this is by far the best defense that they've played down the stretch. Finally getting something going here.
3.5 left in the half. Sims throws, another man open. B.J. Johnson gave up the first down yardage when he circled back, trying to make it into a bigger gain. Gain to the 42. Jared Morris and Sean Weston combining on the tackle. A gain of 8 for Johnson, a sophomore from Grand Prairie, Texas, on his first catch.
And now Chris Sims is starting to get comfortable in the pocket, starting to be able to set his feet and deliver strikes. No one has ever questioned Sims' arm strength. And if Texas A&M allows him to set up in the pocket, it'll be a long second half.
Benson carried for the first down. That gets him into the plus column in rushing yards for the day. It's his longest run of the game, a 4-yard gain. Bear in mind that the longest run this season against the Aggie defense, 22 yards.
And nobody has gone over 100 yards. The closest to that was Tatum Bell of Oklahoma State. They've gone 13 games without giving up a 100-yard individual rusher.
Bell rushed for 94 against the Aggies this year. 10 carries, 4 yards rushing now for Cedric Benson. On first down, Sims forced to pull it down, and they pull him down near the line of scrimmage. Rocky Bernard had Chris around the legs. The senior from Baytown, Texas. Primarily Texans on these 2 rosters. Most of the recruiting done in-state, and a lot of these players know each other very well from their days in high school football. That adds to the rivalry.
And the reason that Sims not able to find anybody downfield, that was just a 3-man rush. Drop 8 by Texas A&M, and a good job of those 3 rushers not giving up, because Sims could not find anything open downfield.
2 tight ends in the game. On the delay, Benson. Pulled down by Harold Robertson with help from Brian Gamble. A 2-yard pickup for Cedric, who joined us late. Benson, a true freshman from Midland, Texas. Started the day needing 105 yards to become the first freshman to rush for 1,000 yards at the University of Texas. Mac Brown said he thought it was very important that they get that done. A 1,000-yard season is a benchmark for a program. It helps you recruit running backs. He's going to have a monumental second half. They're going to get that done. Timeout called by A&M. Time now for our Pacific Life game summary, and the kicking game has played a big part in this one.
Cody Skates, who pulls double duty for A&M early on, injured his left ankle, and then Roderick Babers comes in, and Jeffrey scoops it up and scores. And in a game with very little offense, that left ankle came back to haunt Cody Skates. He keeps telling his coach that he can play, but Sean, when you look at him plant that foot, he does not look healthy.
And each team has missed a field goal. And punting problems on both sides. Next Saturday night, the top 2 teams in the Big 12 will battle it out for the Conference Crown and an automatic BCS bid, the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Next Saturday night, live at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Of course, Nebraska and Colorado play later today here on ABC Sports. The winner of that one will represent the North. Oklahoma will represent the South if the Sooners beat Oklahoma State in the Bedlam Series tomorrow in Norman. Texas needs a win in this game and an Oklahoma loss tomorrow. Mac Brown knows that's not very likely, but he feels with a win today, the Longhorns would have a great shot at being one of the 8 teams selected in one of the 4 BCS bowl games. Maybe 10-1. 1:08 left in the half. Sims on 3rd down, deflected pass, incomplete. It was intended for Bo Skates, the tight end. After it caromed off the traffic. It hung in the air for a while. Brian Gamble had good coverage. And he's the son of a outstanding player, Lucky Gamble, who played at Baylor and is now a successful high school coach here in the state of Texas.
Ty Warren, and there at the nose guard position, was a defensive end last year, moved back out. He's also playing a great game, getting consistent pressure on the quarterback.
And Bradford running into the breeze. Mickey Jones from the 11 makes the first man miss. But that first man got back up and tackled him. Good stick-to-itiveness by Michael Ungar, a special teams standout. He tackled the Kansas punter for a safety in their last game, a 59-0 win over the Jayhawks. Let's take a look at the BCS action this weekend. Nebraska with a big one today in Boulder. Miami, a game you'll see Saturday night on ABC Sports, trying to avenge their only loss of last season to Washington. That game is in Miami. And Oklahoma taking on the Cowboys. Florida and Oregon are idle.
You mentioned Texas trying to be, as Mac Brown said, the pretty girl left standing at the dance who gets asked by the BCS to come dance. In that Big 12 championship, Texas will be rooting for Oklahoma to lose because they could go above a 2-loss Oklahoma team.
On the delay, Keith Joseph took the handoff. Tyrone Jones was not fooled by the faking. Each team with 2 timeouts left, and Texas will use one.
Good job by Mac Brown, the way this A&M offense has been struggling. Again, Dino Babers calling a lot of running plays that are taking time to develop. The only thing that's really been successful for A&M is straight-ahead zone-type running. And right now, you get a feeling that R.C. Slocum would like to get out of here 7-0, but Mac Brown's going to make it very difficult with his timeouts.
NFL fans will remember that last season's Monday night battle between Tampa Bay and St. Louis was one of the most exciting games of the season. They'll go at each other again from St. Louis Monday night at 9 Eastern. The Bucks and the Rams right here on ABC Sports. They won't have to worry about the gusty breeze inside the dome in St. Louis.
Well, and I think Mac Brown would be very happy to see Texas A&M punt again. That's been the story so far in the first half with Cody Skates being hurt. He's come after nearly every punt except for ones into the wind. He's had a couple of returns set up, but with the way Cody Skates has been limping around, you would expect Texas, if they can force a punt, to come after another one.
It's going to be hard to do that with only 1 timeout left. This is just second down for the Aggies. Second and 15. Only 5 first downs for A&M in this half, but that matches the totals that they had in their entire games last time out against the Oklahoma Sooners. Joseph will be spotted down back near the 18-yard line where his knee first touched.
Well, and Mac Brown is not using those timeouts, Sean, because of how long that play took to take. They would not have been able to stop the clock before that 4th down. A&M would have been able to run it out.
92 yards of offense for Texas, 60 for Texas A&M, 12 first downs combined, 7 for Texas. The defense is controlling the proceedings throughout. Texas leads on a blocked punt, returned 23 yards for a touchdown by Tony Jeffrey after Roderick Babers blocked it. Leslie Goodell's with Mac Brown.
Well, Coach, certainly a game you knew wasn't going to be easy, but let's start with your defense, holding them to just 60 total yards in the first half. Your impression?
Leslie, it's been a game of 2 great defenses right now. Our offense started to move the ball better at the end of the half. Looked like they got some more confidence. Playing on the road's always tougher, and we knew that. I think it's been a game of 2 defenses. Our offense looks like they're coming back a little bit, and our kicking game's been really, really good. I'm glad to see Brian Bradford changing field position in this wind with the punting. Great block punt. Sorry that we missed the field goal. And of course, we forced a field goal for them, too.
What adjustments is your offense going to have to make in the second half?
Well, we've got to run the ball better. We're not blocking them well enough, and they're playing great. They're playing with a lot of emotion, but we knew that coming in. We haven't played really well on offense, so I think we can do a lot better on offense second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And it was in the 3rd quarter last season in Austin that the Longhorns pulled away from the Aggies. 7-0 Texas at halftime. Now the Capital One halftime report with John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
All right, Sean, thanks a lot. You are looking at a Texas offense that has averaged 46 points a game since the loss to Oklahoma. Where is it?
Well, this is Texas A&M defense. It's the best defense they've played since they played Oklahoma. They're much better, but Texas better run the football if they're going to open up the passing game.
You think about this, if they don't win today or if Oklahoma doesn't lose tomorrow, they're not going to get into the Big 12 championship game. Today could be an audition for another BCS game in that large bid.
They need to have a very good win here, too, because you got Illinois now 10-1. Tennessee or Florida, one of those is going to want a second at-large berth. So, again, there's only two at-large berths, and Texas has got to fight to get it.
All right, 7-0. The second half still to come. But first, the Capital One halftime show. We return with that after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
What would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac Grand Prix for a week?
We're on our way to Lime Rock, premier Grand Prix racetrack around here.
Or else would you take a Grand Prix, except on a Grand Prix track?
Let me see how you handle, baby.
Did I tell you?
It's so much fun.
Get out of my way! Talk about an adventure. None of us have ever been to AC. Tuxes, dinner. What do you mean it's nice? I don't look like a waiter.
Can you hit him? So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
Elvis!
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
By all appearances, I'm a server. But look deeper, and you'll see that I'm an entire company. A direct one-to-one relationship that adds value instead of costs. I'm just the part of the company you'll be looking at when you realize that I'm not just another pretty face. I'm a better way of doing things. Enterprise systems that are easy to build, easy to own, easy as Dell. Dell PowerEdge servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
Oh, hello. Have you heard about 1-800-Medicare? Yes, you have, because I just told you. Must be broken. You can find out what Medicare covers, get information on staying healthy. Whoops. They'll even tell you what Medigap is, which is important to those who have a gap in their Medi. Oh, the bottom line is, for healthcare questions, turn to the experts at Medicare.
1-800-Medicare, helping you help yourself.
What would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac Grand Prix for a week?
I'm out, man. Let's go.
I'm out to see the world. San Francisco, here we go.
Are we having fun yet? It doesn't take much to have fun, does it?
Man, it's like riding on a surfboard.
You're going to have to call me Dixie if I wear this.
All right, Dixie.
I can smell the salt water from here. Keeps the swell, baby. So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix? Tell us at Pontiac.com.
There's some good surf out there.
Long of Chattanooga, 0% on new is still going strong. But now, we're offering 0% for up to 60 months on used vehicles. Plus, no money down and no payment till spring. For a limited time, find 0% financing up to 60 months on used, 0 money down, and 0 payments till spring. And we're helping Santa out. Take home a $300 shopping spree with every vehicle purchase. 0% for up to 60 months. No money down and no payments till spring on used vehicles at Long. 10 minutes from anywhere in Chattanooga.
The controversy surrounding sports supplements, Sunday at 11.
The Capital One Halftime Show, presented by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet? From Times Square Stadium in New York, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
As you can see, the shoppers are out in full force here in Times Square, and if you're with us week after week, you may have noticed that we're sitting up a little higher than we normally do, as we call this the press box of Times Square Stadium. Now, Terry, you've been with us 3 years. One of the things you brought to us was your annual awards.
Well, everybody knows about the Lombardi, the Heisman, the Butkus Award, but I wanted y'all to see some of the award winners that I've selected.
All right, stick around, because our first category is top turnarounds. The nominees are... Rising from the bottom of the Big Ten a year ago, the Fighting Illini of Illinois have gained at least a share of the Big Ten title. One of just 3 undefeated teams, BYU has been dominating, and the Cougars are having their best season since their '84 championship. There was no shortage of preseason hype in the Pacific Northwest, but none went to Washington State, who finished 9-2.
But the winner for the top turnaround goes to Maryland. Bowlers for more than a decade, Ralph Friedgen's Terps have dethroned the Seminoles in the ACC and are headed to a BCS Bowl.
Up next, this year's top milestones. With his 50th career rushing TD, Nebraska's Eric Crouch set a new record for rushing scores by a quarterback. Indiana's Antoine Randall became the exclusive member of the 40-40 club, passing for 40 touchdowns and running for 40 TDs. 100-yard rushing days became routine for Georgia Southern's Adrian Peterson, who topped the century mark in 47 straight games, most in history.
But, John, the season's top milestone goes to Penn State Joe Paterno, who stands alone, surpassing Alabama's Bear Bryant with his 324th win and counting.
Up next, we salute the coaches who went deep into the playbook or just got plain lucky, creative calls. Don Shula's Miami Dolphins would have been proud of Virginia, who went to the old hook and lateral to upset Georgia Tech. Alabama quarterback Tyler Watts improvised a little on this play, turning a muff snap into a long touchdown pass to teammate Antonio Carter. And Terry, you think there's been a little magic in Miami's season? How about turning a botched field goal into 6 points against arch-rival Florida State?
But, John, the season's most creative call may have come in this year's biggest game. Eric Crouch's role reversal from quarterback to wide receiver, scoring a game-winning TD to defeat the defending champions.
Next, we scan the sidelines for the most stylish coach. Arizona's John Malkovich has brought style to the desert in his Madison Avenue suits. From Hawaii, just like Hawaii 5-0, June Jones dresses the part. And style is timeless. Joe Paul looks the same today as he did 35 years ago.
But the overwhelming winner for sporting the most stylish coach is Bobby Bowden with his new Aussie sun hat and his wraparound shades.
I'm not sure whether it's the shades that complete the look, but this isn't quite making it for us.
No award for the guy that sized these hats. You know, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't give an award either. My favorite award I didn't get to give, though, was to the best clock keeper in the country. It'd have to go to Michigan State for stretching that last second against Michigan. Stupid
Why do I
hat.
have this urge to go get you some cotton candy or something like that? All right, the big award that is yet to be named, it's coming right down to the wire this year because no one has grabbed this and taken it. That's the Heisman Trophy.
It's wide open again, but I think it's going to go to a quarterback, and I think it's going to go to a quarterback not because of stats, but because a quarterback has led his team to victory. Eric Crouch, Ken Dorsey, they're the only teams that are undefeated. If they fall, Joey Harrington has had a great game, too.
And people who look at the passing yards and say, wait a second, Eric Crouch, he's got 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Take a look at the rushing yards. He's going to go over 1,000 yards today. That's the difference. But what about Rex Grossman?
Well, he has had a great year. He's a sophomore, don't often get votes, but there are 5 quarterbacks in the country that have over 3,000 yards rushing. He needs to stick around, win it next year.
Yeah, over 3,000 yards passing. He almost had
right.
300 yards every game. Just missed it last week with about 290. We'll continue with more of the Capital One halftime show in just a moment. See if we can find somebody to size these hats. Right now, Texas with the lead, and that's the difference. 7-0 over A&M.
Great. Credit card bill. Look at these fees.
Honey?
One rate for purchases, higher rate for cash advances, and those telemarketers.
Relax. We switched to Capital One's new no-hassle card.
Introducing Capital One's new no-hassle Platinum Card. No balance transfer fees, no telemarketing, one low fixed rate.
Honey?
What's in your wallet?
Checking out digital cameras?
Yeah, I need FireWire compatibility so that I can email my pictures.
Sure. This one also makes MPEG movies.
Really?
He's excited. It's for our baby. Congratulations. Considered any names yet?
Yeah, maybe Sony or Olympus, but you're the expert, right?
We know how you feel, and that's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
How about an LCD screen?
LCD, chickenpox, we're going to screen for everything.
There's this guy. Oh, it's in my face. Shouting at me. Just pushes me. But I love him. He's my coach. My coach.
Be a coach. Be a fan. Special Olympics.
ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast presented by Siemens continues at 3:30 Eastern Time. A big one in the Big 12. Winner of this game between Nebraska and Colorado will be headed to the Big 12 championship game and perhaps a shot at a national championship if you're the Nebraska Cornhuskers, which means everything. You coach in a state at Auburn in Alabama where everything evolves around football. Similar situation in Nebraska.
Sure, college football means different things to different people in different parts of the country, but the state of Nebraska has no professional sports. University of Nebraska, the only major college, and even when times get economically very bad, the people have one thing they can always look forward to in the fall, Saturday afternoons of Cornhusker football. The model Nebraska football player is a product of the heartland. A young man raised on a farm, fed on beef and corn, and bred on fresh air and sunshine. The product of these wholesome ingredients has been 5 national championships for the Cornhuskers. This season, the Huskers are in familiar territory, contending for the national title. The farmers who raise them aren't doing quite so well.
Actually, when I was a sophomore in high school, we had to sell our farm. So, I mean, I experienced it firsthand, and there's lots of farmers around us that had to sell theirs.
I know of families in the rural community that have lost the family farms that have been in their family for generations upon generations, and you know, that's part of their tradition and part of their way of life.
They told my dad not to even combine corn because it wasn't going to yield anything. He would be wasting his time going out there. So here he was, he planted all that corn, put all that work into it, and got nothing out of it.
The story of these families is the tip of the iceberg. Rural communities are disintegrating. A way of life is disappearing. But no matter how bad it gets in the fields, farmers smile through their Saturday afternoon chores when the Cornhuskers are playing.
You forget a lot of things. You don't worry about the markets. You're going to watch the Cornhuskers today.
Yeah, you look forward to it all week. Yes. You hang on every news item, every bit of broadcasting it picks up. If there's a red jersey shows up on television, that gets everybody's attention right away. We expect to know everything that they're doing. That's our right.
The farmers of Nebraska work hard without asking much in return. They want their football on Saturday, and they want to earn a living from the crops they grow. In a business where pennies a bushel can be the difference between thriving and starving, corn prices are 65 cents below the 10-year average. Since 1996, 2,000 families in Nebraska have been forced to sell their farms.
You got bad times. You got low prices. You lost everything you did. You just got so far in debt, just kept going. Everything you did was costing you money. You got behind. Just had to quit.
As harrowing as farming has become, the joy derived from Cornhusker football runs just as deep. Local legend tells of farmers who would sell their land and equipment before parting with their season football tickets. Harvest time has come and gone, and the markets are still down. Farmers are settling in for a long, worrisome winter, but everyone agrees that watching the Cornhuskers win a national title would ease the pain like nothing else.
I can remember in '94 watching Nebraska play Miami in the national championship, and when they won that game, I think I had a smile on my face for the next week. It's something that people all over the state take joy and satisfaction in, so you know, I'm hoping that we can bring that home and give that kind of satisfaction back to the state.
You know, if Nebraska can beat Colorado in Boulder this afternoon, I guarantee you it's going to mean as much to those people back in Nebraska as it does to those players, John.
Yeah, it could mean even more, though, because it means they're in line for the Big 12 championship game, which would make them in line for the Rose Bowl. You picked Colorado at the beginning of this season as your surprise team. Do they have enough to pull off this upset today?
Well, they really do. They play good defense at Colorado. And again, the last 3 times these teams have played, it's come down to the last play. They believe they can play. I talked to Gary Barnett this week, and he told me we're a hard-nosed, old 70s I-formation football team, and we can play a tough game against Nebraska.
And at the beginning of the year, you looked at this one on the schedule, and you knew it would come down to this. Nebraska with 8 home games. This is a Capital One halftime show. Hook 'em horns. They're up.
Oh, the wonderful thing about children is it never occurs to them that their dreams might not come true. My dream has come true. With hard work and some good financial advice, I just opened my 3rd child care center. We take care of hundreds of children every day. Our children are our future. They just don't know it yet.
Smart Financial Services from Mutual of Omaha, helping plan successful futures for over 90 years.
Capital One Halftime Show, presented by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
I want my students to make a difference. I'm not interested in a student just taking notes to render forth some answers on an examination. I'm challenging my students to be the best they can be, to be truly great, to become leaders that march into the new millennium and make an impact, not just an impression.
America's Funniest Home Videos presents the greatest videos of all time. Tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Ohio State faces Michigan Saturday at 1 Eastern on ABC.
The ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast presented by Siemens continues tomorrow. We start off at 1. It's the big one in the Big Ten. Ohio State against Michigan. Then in prime time at 8 o'clock, some of you will see the Fighting Irish.
Welcome back to College Station, Texas, as our Thanksgiving feast presented by Siemens continues. At halftime, the Longhorns with a 7-0 lead over the Aggies of Texas A&M. Sean McDonough and Ed Cunningham, delighted to have you with us, and I'd imagine R.C. Slocum is delighted with his defense. They talked about stopping Cedric Benson being their first priority. And boy, did they do that in the first half.
And they've used the emotion of this crowd to do that. You would assume that they start to tire out a little bit because of some of their injuries, but really, it's been an amazing front line. Ty Warren, Evan Peroni, Rocky Bernard has done a fantastic job at the point of attack. 105 yards was what Cedric Benson needed coming into this game for 1,000 on the season. And so far, 11 carries for 6 yards. A lot of those rushes caught behind the line of scrimmage like you saw. And right now, Texas in a battle where you have to almost throw out worrying about the 1,000 yards. You're more worried about how well you can play against this Texas A&M defense.
You're an A&M fan, you have to wonder if this offense is ever going to score a touchdown again. They've gone more than 10 quarters now without an offensive touchdown. Lodi Skates kicking off with the breeze. Lands about 8 yards deep, and Victor Ike let it pass by without trying to return it. Here's Leslie.
R.C. Slocum said that because they're going with the wind, he's going to try to use that to jump out to a lead right now. And then in the fourth quarter, going against the wind, hope that they can hold them. So that's their plan, to come out as strong as they can offensively right now. As far as the defense, he said they held the edge in time of possession, even though just barely. So their defense is well rested, and he feels comfortable with that, obviously.
As well he should. Texas had just 7 first downs in the first half. A&M at only 5. Chris Sims, 10 out of 21 for 85 yards. No touchdowns or interceptions. And still no running room for Cedric Benson. No gain on the play. Time now for our Morgan Stanley well-connected storyline. The only touchdown of this game, Tony Jeffrey returned to punt that was blocked by Roderick Babers. 23 yards for a score. A&M had just 60 yards of offense in the first half.
And here is where Texas could really use Cedric Benson to help set up some play-action pass, because Chris Sims is going into about a 20-25-mile-an-hour wind. Very difficult to get a good throw off.
Sims finds no receiver open and runs out of bounds with a 1-yard gain. Chased out by Gerard Penwright and Amon Simon.
You know, Sean, we talked about this yesterday, about the frustration level with Texas A&M on offense, as we see Simon hobble off a little bit. But this defense has never given up, and you made an interesting point. You get no sense that there has been any finger pointing about the offense. They have just continued to come out, play hard, and not worry about what the offense is doing. It's really a testament to R.C. Slocum and his staff.
3 out of 10 on third down are the Longhorns. This is third down and 8. From the 22, opening possession of the second half. Sims with time, throws underneath, short of a first down. Rhett Robin got belted down at the 28-yard line by Brian Gamble and Sean Weston.
And Chris Sims had Roy Williams down the sideline, but he was going to go to throw the fade a little too late and into this wind. A wise decision by Sims. You throw one up, on a long fade into this one, and if it wobbles at all, you're looking at interception.
Ryan Bradford running away to Mickey Jones, who's standing at the 35-yard line. Into the wind, a pretty good punt. Jones with a flag down. Gets another block. He's across the 50. He's at the Texas 30. Bo Trahan, another special teams tackle. There is a flag down back at the A&M 37-yard line.
It's going to be a halo violation, and right now the trainers from Texas are running out to try to look at Mike Jones, a tight end.
Kick pass interference, gets the kick retained, penalty is declined. First down.
You have to give the receiver of the punt a 2-yard radius, and Michael Ungar was within that space on punt coverage.
And watch the block as Jones comes over to the left. This is Jay Brooks right there. How do you do? Releases Jones down the sideline. Jay Brooks coming back after missing almost 5 games. A huge block. There you go, coming from the left on Mike Jones, who's got his eyes. You have to have your head on a swivel, and unfortunately for Mike Jones, that looked like a helmet-to-helmet hit. Wouldn't imagine he's feeling too good right about now. That was a great hit by Jay Brooks.
Mike Jones is a senior from San Antonio. A starter at tight end in the past until he tore an ACL last season. He does play in a number of 2 tight end sets. It was a 36-yard punt, a 37-yard return, longest of his career for Mickey Jones. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Pacific Life Annuities, Insurance, Investments. Discover the power of Pacific Life. By Sears. Only Sears has the brands you want at the prices you need. Sears, where else? And by Chili's Baby Back Ribs, flame grilled and double basted with barbecue sauce.
Sean, you mentioned earlier that Jay Brooks' nickname is Big Play Jay. He's got 5 punt blocks in his career. And although this doesn't go down as a statistic, this does a lot of things. First of all, it releases the punt returner so he gets more yardage, but also it gives some momentum to Texas A&M. That was over on Texas A&M's sideline. Maybe breathe a little life into this offense.
And that has been lifeless for 2.5 games now. Great field position at the Longhorn 27. Quick pass. That's a lateral. Greg Porter wants to throw it back to Ferris, and they weren't fooled. Kalen Thornton throws the play for a loss. Well, the Longhorns said this week when we spoke with their coaches on defense, they had to be very aware for trick plays. They expected a few of them, and here's one.
And this play right from the start, Sean, you just had a feeling something was coming, and Kalen Thornton does a great job. The backside defensive end, play that far away, teach him to get upfield, stay as deep as the deepest offensive player, which that time was Ferris. And we said at the outset, they've got to sniff it out. That was a great job of Thornton sniffing out that throwback.
Now they're going to have to burn a timeout because they couldn't get the play in from the sideline. 2nd down and 16 upcoming for Mark Ferris and the Aggies.
After the new Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak. The all-new 270 horsepower Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
Ain't this the perfect specimen of a man?
Inside the ring, he was the greatest. Outside,
Do you think you're acting like the people's champion? I ain't gonna be the champ the way you want me to be the champ. I'm gonna be the champ the way I want to be.
he was even more.
We're going from the darkness to the light.
Will Smith is.
I'm gonna hit your hand 6 times before you get to 3. Go.
1, 2, 3.
Did I hurt you?
Ali, this film is not yet rated. Opens everywhere Christmas Day.
So Denver doesn't win a Super Bowl till long after Tommy's retired.
And the Packers. I mean, they couldn't win one until Sterling hung them up. I don't think it's really a coincidence. It's just my thought. I don't know. I mean, you won a Super Bowl.
It's not that hard.
Hey, Boomer. Sterling. Burger's ready. Great. I've been looking forward to this.
There you go.
NFL Countdown, Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Look, we got a lot to do today, so let's make this quick. Get what you need. We're out of here. Agreed?
Yes.
Kevin!
We know how you feel, and that's why you can shop online and pick up at a nearby store the same day, or we'll ship to you. Circuit City, we're with you.
I think that went really well.
There's nothing more dangerous.
He says a cop did it.
Than a criminal with a badge.
Where is the shield?
I don't know.
New NYPD Blue, ABC this Tuesday, 9/8 Central.
After the A&M timeout, second down for the Aggies. Good throw by Ferris. Terrence Murphy with the catch. Then he slipped down as he turned toward the first down marker. Second catch for Murphy. He fell down about 5 yards short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 22. That's one of the few confident-looking throws we've seen from Ferris the last couple of weeks. Today's 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Chevy Trucks.
And as R.C. Slocum told Leslie Goodell, with this wind at their back, they got a nice break with the punt return, made their own break actually, and come out, and Terrence Murphy runs a great route. And you're right, Sean, Ferris with the wind at his back. First time he's really looked confident, released it on time.
Movement along the line with no flag. Ferris has the ball. Nice catch by Porter. Inside the 10. First down, Aggies. Greg Porter, the two-sport athlete, minor league baseball player, former member of the Aggie baseball squad, and receiver. He's missed 5 games because of a broken foot. Caught the pass from Ferris, another former minor league baseball player. 1st and goal, Aggies at the 8.
Greg Porter has the best hands. They say there's nobody who's even close. This ball thrown back across, 6'5", a left-handed stab at it, brought it back to his right hand. Little Gimpy still on that broken foot. He's been limping around, but what a fantastic catch by Greg Porter.
Joseph running left, running hard, running inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. It took both safeties, Ahmad Brooks and then Nathan Vasher, to get him on the ground.
It has been since the 4th quarter of Iowa State, back on October 27th, that A&M has scored. And this is the way they're going to need to do it, Sean. The only thing they've been able to do is run straight ahead. But what a great job by Ahmad Brooks, a guy who came in as a cornerback, now playing safety. A lot better tackler than they expected. A fantastic job by Brooks that time, saving the touchdown.
The pitch to Joseph, following Joe Weber, touchdown!
Fantastic player, Joe Weber. I know that Keith Joseph will get credit for this touchdown, but a great lead block by Weber. We've seen him catch the ball out of the backfield, run it. He's been special today for A&M.
And Cody Skate just did get the extra point inside that left upright. A 4-yard touchdown run by Joseph. His 4th touchdown of the year. And Texas A&M has tied this one up.
You can slow down investing. You can stop investing entirely. But you can't stop daughters from falling in love.
Hi, Daddy.
Which is why your Morgan Stanley financial advisor will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for.
Behold the legendary Lord of the Rings, Behold Gandalf, the wizard. Behold Frodo, the hobbit. And now they're not just to behold, they're to be held. Now at Burger King, when you behold and buy a Whopper value meal, even when you hold the pickles, get a magical Lord of the Rings light-up glass goblet, just $1.99 each. Collect all 4 and behold Strider, the Ranger, and Arwen, the Elf. They're all yours to have and to hold. The adventure begins here. This is Silverado Heavy Duty. Available with the new Duramax diesel. The most powerful diesel you can get in a pickup. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
The punt return teams providing most of the offense in this game. Texas, a block punt returned for a touchdown, and then a 37-yard punt return by Mickey Jones. Gave A&M the ball with the Texas 27. They marched down to the 4. Keith Joseph punched it in. First offensive touchdown in more than 10 quarters for the Aggies. Skates kicks it out of the back of the end zone. So again, the Longhorns will start from their own 20.
Can't say enough about this A&M defense, Sean. Obviously having a fantastic outing today, but really if you go all the way back, they had a couple of early wins against McNeese State and at Wyoming. And R.C. Slocum, who was pretty mild-mannered, came in and really went off on his defense, and they played great ever since.
Those are the numbers we spoke of earlier for Sims in the third quarter last year in Austin against A&M. 8 for 8 for 3 touchdowns and turned a close game into a rout. Tied at 7 in the third quarter today. First and 10 from the 20. Sims is going to run. Slides head first. Knee down at the 29-yard line. A yard short of the first down as Jay Brooks was approaching the quarterback.
Jay Brooks, one of the guys who was pretty vocal about Chris Sims coming into this season. They talked about the game last year. You just saw the numbers Chris Sims put up in the third quarter. 3 touchdowns, 20 yards to Roy Williams, 55 to Sloan Thomas, and 70 yards to B.J. Johnson. An amazing quarter that really set the stage nationally for Sims as a quarterback and those 3 amazing, at the time, freshman wide receivers.
Jay Brooks said if their starters were healthy in the secondary last year in that game, they would have made the plays against Sims. Sims has actually rushed for more yards now than Benson. 12 yards rushing for Chris on 6 carries. You can flip those numbers for Cedric Benson. 12 carries for 6 yards rushing.
Mike Hankwitz said all week long they'd be willing to leave one-on-one Roy Williams against Sammy Davis and stop this run. It's working out so far.
Benson finds a hole and a first down out to the 34. A 5-yard gain, his longest run of the day. Sean Weston made the tackle. Benson, one of the top recruits in the country, coming out of Midland Lee last year. Rushed more than 8,400 yards in high school. Was a 3-time Texas 5A Offensive Player of the Year as his team went to 3 straight state titles. And after the play, a personal foul penalty signaled by Hal Dowden against Texas. Each team penalized twice today prior to this one.
We had a dead ball, personal foul against the offense. After the first down, we have a 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Sean, in a game like this, when things are not going your way, it's an emotional rivalry game. You've got to keep your cool. You're already going against the wind. The momentum is squarely against Mack Brown's team. To do something dumb and get a penalty after a play is unacceptable.
It was after the first down for 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Sims with time throws for the tight end. A diving catch. And what a catch it was out of the 40-yard line. A 21-yard gain on the pass to the sophomore from Denver, Colorado, Bo Scape.
Scape, the 3rd leading receiver Lined up in the tight end, Penwright over the top. Penwright's dropping off into the flat, and there trailing is Harold Robertson. And even Terrence Keel comes over, but Scaife is so good at running away from linebackers. You really have to put a safety on him, and he is a weapon that Texas has put into their offense to take a little pressure off the outside receiver.
Longest play of the day for the Texas offense. Good catch and a low throw by Williams. And he's pushed out by Sammy Davis. Came to the 45, a pickup of 5.
And because Sammy Davis is lined up one-on-one against Roy Williams, one of the most gifted athletes in college football, Davis playing well off of him. I think it's a good move by Mike Hankwitz. If you're going to go one-on-one against this guy, you might as well give 8 or 10 yards, and if they're going to throw a 5-yard out, let them have it.
The noise ever present. Chris Simpson, we played here 2 years ago. Sometimes as he came up to the line of scrimmage, he was almost mesmerized by the noise and the towels waving everywhere he looked. Benson again gets just 1 yard. Evan Peroni and Terrence Keel combining on the tackle. And another key third down. It'll be 3rd and 4 with 9 minutes left in the third quarter in a tie game.
Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator at Texas, said it's not just the noise that gets you. It's a coordinated noise. Listen how loud they get on this 3rd and 4.
Brett Robin, the lone back. 3 receivers. B.J. Johnson, the motion man. Here comes a blitz. Flag down. And they whistled a play down before the snap. The Aggies celebrating. They think there was movement by the horn.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Now you go from a 3rd and 4 to a 3rd and 9, and you start playing into the hands of Mike Hankwitz and some of the things that he can call. He has so many things at his ability. This time, they're showing blitz in the middle. Let's see who. It looked like everybody was statues to me, Sean. I don't know who flinched.
Well, tough to tell who moved from that replay. The referee doubting the offensive backfield who threw the flag. Instead of 3rd and 4, it's 3rd and 9. Sims throws it in the flat for Scaife. He has some running to do to get a first down. He lunges. If they give him the ball at the 50-yard line, it's a first down. And it looks like they will spot it right on the yard marker for an apparent first down.
Scaife, one of those tight ends. He's not huge, 6'3", 245 pounds. A lot like Trent Smith at Oklahoma, a guy who's not going to be a big bruising blocker, but with Mike Williams and Robbie Doan at your tackles, you don't really need a great blocker at that tight end spot, but an excellent run after the catch. It looked to me Texas A&M had this thing swarmed up as he makes a couple of moves and splits the defenders. Nice job. Bodovich came in there.
He got a great spot there, Ed. It looked like his knee was down. He bounced and then extended the ball, and he just came up short by an inch or two right on the 50-yard line. But his knees were down, and then he bounced forward and stuck the ball out, and they gave him the full extension that came up about 2 inches short, and it looks like the Longhorns are going to go for it on 4th and an inch or 2 from the 50-yard line.
Mack Brown did this earlier in the game at about the exact same spot. Wouldn't imagine they're going to get too fancy. They ran a quarterback sneak to the left, and with a 225-pound quarterback and 300-pounders in front of you, I'd imagine the same thing.
Oh, movement on the right side of the offensive line. That might change Mack Brown's strategy now. Mike Williams, impossible to miss when he moves. The building shakes.
And there's the coordinated noise of Texas A&M. This is all about get-off. A quarterback sneak is all about your defensive line. If they can get a better get-off than the offensive line and cause any penetration, taking up the entire bottom of your screen is Mike Williams. But even removed one man from the offensive guard, that much noise on the field, very difficult for Mike Williams to hear the snap.
And Mickey Jones back for the punt from Brian Bradford. And the last punt return earlier in this quarter, Jones brought it back 37 yards to set up the touchdown. Another decent punt into the wind. Jones hit immediately. Another flag down for another halo violation. Michael Ungar again. Too close. Irvis Hill made the tackle.
There's a lot of coaches in college football, Sean, that are asking that this ruling be looked at. As Ungar comes from the outside, he's being locked up. Even though he's being blocked, his momentum was what took him into Mickey Jones. But a lot of coaches think that this needs to be a bigger penalty because there's really no reason for Ungar to pull off with only a 5-yard penalty.
And they pick up the flag, saying that he was blocked into the halo. R.C. Slocum doesn't like it.
How can you provide for the future of the people who depend on you? With the power of Pacific Life. For over 130 years, Pacific Life has improved the lives of millions with investments, annuities, and insurance. Because careful planning today can help them reach their dreams tomorrow. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
Chili's Southwestern Egg Rolls, where East meets Southwest.
Do you think you're making a difference? We do. Since you started being a designated driver, or calling a cab for a friend, or serving responsibly, drunk driving fatalities are down 37%. To all who are making a difference, thank you.
It's a better place to live. It's a better place to live. Thanks to you.
It's new, a flame-grilled top sirloin, marinated Cajun shrimp, and a great price, $8.99. Chili Surf and Sirloin. We're having some fun now.
Set your clocks because this Saturday, starting at 7 a.m., save an additional 10% on practically everything in the store. This includes Craftsman, Kenmore, Reebok, Trader Bay, JDC, Sansui, Leather Outerwear, David Taylor, Side. Get up early for 10% off Saturday from 7 to noon only at Sears. Where else?
The new Dremel cordless rotary tool with 9.6 volts of power and over 150 available accessories. It's so versatile, you just can't live without it.
Wednesday. Drew and Mimi take their rivalry to the streets with champion NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon. The Drew Carey Show, Wednesday on ABC.
Sean McDonough with Ed Cunningham and Leslie Goodell at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Texas A&M undefeated at home this year, but hosting its most talented foe on this field this season. A 7-7 tie. Their 2-touchdown underdog today are the Aggies. As R.C. Slocum noted to his team during the week, many times over the years in this rivalry, the underdog has prevailed. It makes it one of the best rivalries in college football. There's been a lot of the unexpected over the years. Keith Joseph, the ball carrier, and he gets 5 before he was put on the ground by Kalen Thornton. And we check the Pacific Life game summary.
Been a lot of things happening in the kicking game. A&M had a punt blocked earlier. This time Mickey Jones gets a great block right there by Jay Brooks. Wonderful one-handed catch that time. And then the great run by Keith Joseph. And Joe Weber, the fullback, has played a great game. A nice lead block on that play.
The third down conversion on the pass to Porter. Now Joseph dropped for a loss by Corey Redding. Back to the 15-yard line. It'll bring up third down and 10. Big play by the junior from Houston, Corey Redding, who was the defensive newcomer of the year in the Big 12 back in 1999, and honorable mention all-conference last year.
Sean, with A&M having so much success running the ball, and I say that with an asterisk for them, it hasn't been great numbers, but that's where their success has come. I don't know that getting out on the edge against a very speedy Texas defense is the answer. They've won in the middle with McKinney, Whitley the right guard, and Yates. I would continue to pound it downhill with fullback lead plays.
Third and 10. Ferris, shovel pass. Joseph lost the football. D.D. Lewis hit him. Seth McKinney The center fell on the free football and averted a disaster for Texas A&M, but they'll have to punt from their own 11-yard line.
Very frustrating for Seth McKinney coming off. That's in his 49th start, playing on the worst offense he's played on since he's been here. But as upset as he is, I don't think he'll realize how huge a recovery that was for A&M.
Not much aggressiveness with the wind on that possession by A&M. Skates out of the end zone. Just got that one off. Driving kick with the breeze back to the 35-yard line. Nathan Vasher runs out of bounds at the 49-yard line. 14-yard return of a 50-yard punt. Near the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
And Harold Robertson is down over on the Texas sideline. He took a shot kind of like what Jay Brooks delivered earlier. Blind side, Texas was trying to set up the wall on that side. And as the returner stepped out, Robertson got popped right up near the shoulders.
They're already thin at linebacker. He's been playing a great deal because Jared Morris, the starter, has been in and out of the game. He's been bothered by knee injuries. Sat out most of the game at Oklahoma 2 weeks ago. Good news for Robertson and the Aggies as he's running off. Well, another tight one in this rivalry that dates back to 1894 and part of the Thanksgiving weekend since 1901. In recent years, played on the Friday after Thanksgiving. 60 times they played it on Thanksgiving Day. 108th meeting overall. Only Missouri and Kansas and Minnesota and Wisconsin have met more often on the football field in college football. Sims threw it away over the head of the tight end, Oliver Edward Bo Scaife. Oliver Edward Scaife III, and he goes by Bo. You call him whatever he wants you to call him because he's very active and proficient in the martial arts. And at 6'3", 245, even if he wasn't, you wouldn't be inclined to say much to him anyway.
Well, he was blocked out that time by Mike Williams as we were trying to get a shot at him.
And Williams admits to 360 and a gleam in his eye that would suggest he might even be heavier than that. Great tackle. Sims has it batted down. Brian Gamble. And the junior, mentioned earlier, his dad, Lucky, a high school coach, played at Baylor. His mom, the late Kathy Gamble, was a fine basketball player at Baylor. Tragically, she was killed in a car accident a year and a half ago.
Derek Dockery, the left guard, not able to adjust and get out on Brian Gamble. Gamble, a reputed film junkie. That's a blitz where he gets to choose the gap, and with the tackle coming down and the guard popping out, he chooses wisely to go outside the offensive tackle to jump up and knock it down.
Brett Robin, the third down specialist in the backfield. Sims steps up right to the line of scrimmage and airmails Sloan Thomas. He was very close to being across the line when he released that pass.
And he really felt like he had to get a lot on that ball, Sean, with that much wind coming into his face. But when you throw it that low, the wind, when you drive the ball like he did that time, the wind's not going to have as much of an effect. And luckily, he did drive that ball because that was interceptable.
Brian Bradford, the junior from Lufkin, Texas. Transfer from Trinity Valley Junior College. He was also a quarterback. Didn't get all of that one, but did get a favorable bounce down to the 25-yard line. 26-yard punt. 7-all in the third quarter.
Great. Credit card bill.
Look at these fees.
Honey?
One rate for purchases, higher rate for cash advances, and those telemarketers.
Relax. We switched to Capital One's new no-hassle card.
Huh?
Introducing Capital One's new no-hassle Platinum Card. No balance transfer fees, no telemarketing, one low fixed rate.
Honey?
What's in your wallet?
All across the country, people have places to go, things to do, so they go Midas for total car care. Need an alignment? We do that. Air conditioning? We do that. Brakes? We do that. Oil changes? We do that. Batteries, too. Of course, mufflers. And we do all that with our certified technicians and our nationwide guarantee. So for total car care, who does it all? Midas. We do that.
Our Thanksgiving feast continues on ABC Sports, presented by Siemens. Thanksgiving weekend tradition, Texas and Texas A&M. Texas ranked number 5 in both major polls, number 6 in the BCS. Ferris comes out throwing and throws it in the vicinity of absolutely nobody. Wayne Goins, the receiver nearest the ball. Gordon and Tubbs putting some heat on Ferris.
They're running out of time to take advantage of this wind at their back, and that time Goins ran a post corner route. Very well defended that time by Babers, and Mark Ferris should have come off of that. Babers had outside position. There was no way that Goins was going to be able to get back to the corner route.
I wonder if leg injuries are contagious. I mean, some of these guys look like they come away limping after every play. They never had injury problems like this under R.C. Slocum. Joseph forced to bounce it outside, lunges forward for a gain to the 28-yard line. That play picked up 3. It'll be 3rd and 7. Ahmad Brooks with another stop. Next Saturday, Hall of Fame running back Gale Sayers is one of football's true legends, and his relationship with teammate Brian Piccolo was legendary. Brian's song. Next Sunday at 7, 6 Central, right here on ABC. .86 yards of offense for Texas A&M and 6 first downs, trying to convert on 3rd and 7. And they do. Mickey Jones out to the 49-yard line. He's made the big plays today for A&M. The 37-yard punt return that set up their touchdown, and now a 20-yard gain on 3rd down and 7.
Nice job crossing the route with Mickey Jones and Greg Porter. You'll see it unfold right in front of Mark Ferris. And Mickey Jones, one of those guys, a senior, who hasn't got a ton of playing time, but the coaches talk about him in the open field. He's not the fastest. He's not the quickest. He doesn't have the best moves. He says hook this to Texas, but he has been really the only bright spot for Texas A&M on offense and, of course, a big return on special teams.
The option, not the specialty of Ferris. He ran it pretty well there. Hits it when he had to Joseph. Keith was tackled by Nathan Vasher, the sophomore from Texarkana.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mickey Jones got the upside-down horns from R.C. Slocum yesterday during the walkthrough. Slocum, who's coached in this game 28 times. He's 16 and 12. Had a hat on that had a longhorn on the front with the horns broken off. And underneath in maroon, it said, hook this. So sending a message to his team that he didn't buy into any of it either.
29 times Slocum's been involved in a A&M Texas game. The head coach or as an assistant is 16 and 12 overall, 7 and 5 as a head coach. Pass off the mark. Intended for Terrence Thomas. Kari Pearson had the coverage. It'll be 3rd down.
R.C. Slocum also talked about the talent. You know, it was funny when we did that game earlier in the year, the Texas-Colorado game. Mac Brown said, everyone says it's a bad thing that we have a lot of talent. Well, I can recruit, and I don't think that's necessarily bad, but R.C. said it's kind of scary that that talent is now playing up to its ability late here in the second part of this season. Very frightening when you look at them on film, how many guys they have that can play.
And Coach Slocum also admits the talent level is a little bit down in this program from where it has been in the past. Ferris with time with a receiver, but it's a low throw, and Thomas had a lunge for it. That cost them the chance to run for a 1st down. They'll spot him at the 44, or just inside the 44. They need to get just inside the 42 for a first down.
Not even a choice. Oh, Sean, I think this is the wrong call by R.C. Slocum. He's got the wind at his back. You punt it away, any kind of time of possession, running the ball by Cedric Benson, anything to eat clock, and then you're into the wind for the fourth quarter. I think on the plus side of the field, he should go for it on fourth down.
Well, his offense has been so bad, the defense so good, he'd rather play field position here and lean on the defense. Skates took a long time to get it off. Flags down. They might have hit Skates again. The punt downed at the 2, but there are 2 flags down. Chante Buell down the punt.
Sean, they're going to get Wes Bodovich, the personal protector for Cody Skates, for tackling. It looked like Maurice Gordon that he was blocking. Wes Bodovich, a safety, is getting run over. This is a safe look. Mac Brown decides to leave his defense out there, and you turn the defensive lineman loose. Sometimes they don't have the speed to get back there and block it. Watch Bodovich right here.
Holding on the kicking team. 10-yard penalty.
It was the right call.
Fourth down.
Oh, boy.
But a nice, hey, listen, Bodovich, although he gets called for the penalty, if he doesn't block Gordon and take him to the ground, I'm not so sure Gordon doesn't get another block for Texas.
Bodovich, the senior from Kennedale, Texas. Started his collegiate career at Texas A&M Kingsville. Was the quarterback there, played well, but was unhappy in the program. Sent around tapes to many schools. He drove all over Texas doing that. Wasn't even going to bother at A&M, thought it was too high a level, but they were driving by the school, so he dropped off a tape, was invited to walk on. Flags before the punt.
And it was Wes Bodovich again, this time leaning forward in anticipation of the snap.
Ball start on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Maybe a little shook after getting run over by Maurice Gordon. He starts leaning forward before the snap. And now that thing that looked like great field position for R.C. Slocum's defense could get a lot better for the University of Texas.
So all of a sudden the ball back on the A&M 41. The good news is with the wind, Skates, if he can get it off, should be able to drive it deep into Texas territory. And he does. Vasher caught it at the 13. The first man ran by him to avoid the handle infraction, and that hurts. Vasher finally tackled from behind at the 36-yard line. 46-yard punt, 23-yard return. Here's Leslie Goodell.
Sean, the American flag can be seen flying prevalently across the United States right now in the wake of the September 11th attack. But there are 55 American flags placed around Kyle Field, representing something much closer to home. 55 servicemen and former Aggies were lost in World War I, and they have put these flags around Kyle Field in a tribute to them. And with the wind blowing the way it is today, you can certainly see them.
First and 10, Texas. At the 36, Sims throwing deep into the wind. The ball hung up there in the wind. Sammy Davis caught it out of bounds, as he had excellent coverage on Roy Williams. Women waging a one-on-one battle all day.
I don't care if you have a cannon strapped to your arm. This is a very difficult throw. Just an absolute fly pattern by Roy Williams. Sammy Davis, an excellent job looking back for the ball the entire time. But there you see the long arms of Roy Williams. That ball stayed in bounds. It was a great play by Jay Brooks to come up with it.
Second and 10. Blitz off the corner, and Sims is sacked. Sherrod Penwright got him after Christian Rodriguez made him step up. Second sack for Texas A&M.
Mike Hankwitz talked about trying to get Texas into predictable downs. Second and 10 is a predictable down. Penwright up here working on Doan, the left tackle. Once again, just using that speed, staying alive. It was the pressure in the middle that flushed Sims, and Penwright gets his first sack in 3 ball games.
10.5 sacks for the season now for Penwright. Leslie talked about the flags. Penwright's fiance, Aisha Thompson, is in the Air Force. She's stationed in England. Henrich sends her the tapes every week. Brett Robin carrying on 3rd down and long, a very conservative call. Sammy Davis and Brian Gamble combining on the stop but going into the wind in this defensive battle. The Longhorns didn't want to take any chances. Robin got out to the 42, but they're 4 yards shy of the necessary yardage.
And I think the Texas coaches made the right call there, Sean. You saw how difficult it was for Sims, who threw everything he had into that fly route by Roy Williams and still was not able to get it there. That would have been an awfully long throw to pick up the first down.
Brian Bradford punting to Mickey Jones. High but short. Jones signaled for a fair catch but couldn't get up to the ball through some traffic. And it rolls dead at the 27-yard line. Irvis Hill downed it there. Well, this is just the start of our Thanksgiving feast today. Following our game, #1 Nebraska and Eric Crouch, the Black Shirts defense, heading to the land where the Buffalo roam to take on the Boulder Brigade for a spot on the Big 12 title game lineup. Bobby Pesavento will start at quarterback for Colorado, so stay tuned to ABC for Nebraska and Colorado coming up next.
After we did that Oklahoma game a couple weeks ago, Sean, I was out after the game and was trying to tell the Oklahoma people they have to root for Nebraska. They want to play the highest rated team in that Big 12 championship game. That's their best chance to end up in the Rose Bowl.
And give the Sooners a chance to avenge their only loss of the year. Of course, the only loss of Texas was against Oklahoma. Ferris, lots of time, lousy throw. He had time to set himself and step into a throw and just kind of lazily threw the ball off his back foot well short of Terrence Murphy. Let's check in at Times Square Stadium with John Saunders.
Sean, here with the Burger King update. Southern Miss, East Carolina, David Garrard. Going back, trying to lead ECU back. It's sacked by Joe Henley, losing 12 yards. That was their last drive to try and tie this thing up. Southern Miss holds them to 3 points in the second half and wins 28-21.
Well, congratulations to Southern Miss. Big win in Conference USA. Joseph, first down, powering his way out to the 43-yard line. 16 yards on the rush for Keith Joseph. Now 66 yards rushing today for the redshirt freshman on 21 carries.
Watch the left guard Yates pull around here. He's going to get a great seal block to spring Joseph. Instead of kicking him out, he tries to hook the guy down inside, and that was enough for Joseph, who's run very well today, Sean. You get a feeling that he feels like this is his opportunity with Derek Farmer out of the ball game to showcase how hard he runs.
His longest run of the day. A&M running out of time. They approach a minute left, running out of time with the wind at their backs here in the third quarter. The wind has been a major factor today. Ferris throwing deep with the wind, and it is over the head of Terrence Thomas. Very tight coverage by Roderick Babers, but that ball is not catchable in bounds.
Dino Babers has been calling a lot of those fades to the outside. We saw a post corner earlier. A lot of times it's an easier route for these young receivers to run, but a very difficult throw against Quentin Jammer and Babers, two of the best corners. None of these fade routes has been open for Ferris, and all he can do is throw it to the outside and hope that somebody can make a play.
His teammates call Roderick Babers Stonehenge. He just cannot catch the ball, doesn't have any interceptions. Babers says, I have a motto. Nobody catches the ball on my side of the field, not even me. Joseph picking his way out to the 46. We're under a minute left in the third.
You know, we've been talking about this A&M defense, and it's worth noting how good this Texas defense is and how much better it's gotten since Carl Reese was here. When he got here in '98, the year before, they were 96th in the country. He said there was only two problems with the defense when I got here. They were slow and they couldn't hit. Well, he's improved them drastically. And with a good outing today, you would assume they would catch who's second in the NCAA in total yards, Virginia Tech, who has to play Miami next weekend.
Third down, 3rd and 7, flag down, Ferris down, juggling the football, and it comes out. Recovered by Corey Redding.
Flag down play.
And they're going to mark Ferris down before the fumble at the 37, and now the penalty.
It's going to be offsides, I believe, by Texas. So a free play for A&M, luckily for Ferris.
Kalen Thornton appeared to be offside.
Thornton down here on the bottom, trying to get a jump, was in the neutral zone. Ferris holding that ball because you might as well try and make a play. If you see the flag come in, you can hold it for just a second longer.
Much more manageable third down now. 3rd down and 2.
And with the last play they have, most likely with the wind at their backs for Texas A&M, there's maybe a chance to try something down the field, maybe a play fake. 2 yards running the ball has not been easy today.
And they won't get a chance to run another play with the win. 4th quarter upcoming in a tie game. Texas 7, Texas A&M 7. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Hey, you want to switch? Yeah.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that switches from an SUV to a pickup.
Good idea.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
Kara was 8 years old when they told us she needed a heart transplant. Can you imagine? Now she's 16.
Now she's driving.
Yeah.
I love driving in my car.
She's a typical teenager.
Well, we listen to like loud music. We'll have the windows rolled down.
Just her heart used to belong to someone else.
Medical coverage from Mutual of Omaha.
Green's my favorite color.
Helping bring tomorrow to life for over 90 years.
Eddie George of the Tennessee Titans, working to help the United Way build stronger communities.
Woods, Montgomery, Harnavick, Norman, a friendly foursome where the stakes are high but the mood is loose. The Skins game this weekend on ABC.
ABC Sunday.
You were programmed.
He holds the key.
Stay away from me.
To a doorway she never imagined would lead to her own past.
How did you know my name?
A new alias. ABC Sunday.
I know, Mom. We're nearly unpacked. Yes, we've got a guest room. Well, you need to come see it. Tomorrow. No, that'll be fine, Mom.
Need some stuff for your home? Find it all at Southern Home Rentals. Brand name quality merchandise, easy payment plans, even same-day delivery. Southern Home Rentals. If you're renting from anyone else, you're paying too much.
Grocery store inspections Monday at 6 on News Channel 9.
Just a tremendous venue for college football. These great fans enjoying another tight Texas A&M game. Big play, first play of the 4th quarter, 3rd and 2. Aggies going into the win now at the Texas 49. Ferris forced to stop, and he did not get the first down. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1. Kalen Thornton will be credited with a sack. And Cody Skates will punt into the wind. And he's had one blocked already today that was run back for the Texas touchdown, and they've come very close to blocking several others.
With his left foot, got ran into earlier in the game and a roughing the punter. It's been really the big play of the game for Texas because of the trouble Skates has had both with field goals, PATs, and getting the ball off.
Punt mishandled as the Aggies tried to down it. It clanged off Byron Jones, where they will spot the ball at the 19-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Nissan. Nissan driven. By Burger King, home of the Whopper. By new Pepsi Twist. Pepsi and Diet Pepsi with a twist of lemon. And by Midas. See Midas for all your car care needs. Midas. We do that.
In a game that's gone back and forth with both defenses playing fantastic and special teams being such a big part of it. Now Texas has the advantage, and R.C. Slocum's bunch loses this win.
There's Mike Hankwitz, 31-year coaching veteran, has to be very proud of the performance of this defense today against one of the best offenses in the nation. Cedric Benson matching his longest run of the day with a 5-yard pickup. Christian Rodriguez chopped him down. We check the Nissan drive summary for Texas here in the second half. There haven't been any long drives through the countryside for the Longhorns here in the second half.
We were talking about Mike Hankwitz and the job that he's done. He's had some guys banged up himself. He's finally got them healthy with 2 weeks rest, able to rotate guys in, keep them fresh. And the time of possession not as bad as it had been in the previous 3 or 4 ball games for Texas A&M on offense.
Little misdirection. Benson with running room, a first down. Bodovich finally gets him on the ground at the 46-yard line of A&M. 26 yards on the run for Cedric Benson.
Guy who idolizes Ricky Williams, but everybody says that he reminds them more of another guy who's made a great name for himself in the state of Texas, Emmitt Smith. Does a great job of jumping over a defender in the hole. But he's quicker than you think he is. He's stronger than you think he is, and more elusive. A lot of those things didn't show up as much as Mac Brown says they have shown up lately in games.
Up to 41 yards rushing for Benson, so he's going to need to break a big one to reach the 100 mark for the 6th straight game. He's thrown for a loss on that play. Rocky Bernard made the tackle. Christian Rodriguez forced the play, and Bernard finished him off.
Rodriguez and his mate on the other side in this 3-4 defense, Gerard Penwright, who've been playing a lot of defensive end today, as well as outside linebacker. A couple of guys who had to wait their turn with some of the great outside linebackers that they sat behind. Jason Glenn now in the NFL with the Jets, playing fantastic today and have for the entire season.
Second and 12. The Longhorns with the breeze at their backs here in the 4th quarter. Sims, zip one incomplete. Flag thrown from the official about 30 yards downfield. Bo Scaife, the intended receiver, and the back judge said that Brian Gamble was making contact over the back before the ball got there.
Take a look as Gamble gets his drop right up there on the left part of your screen.
The official on the top right of your screen who throws the flag from about 35 yards away.
And I don't know what he saw. I know that was a quick look at it, but it didn't look like Gamble ran through Scaife to make that play. Looked like he got his left hand over there to make a really nice play on the ball. That's a long way away to make that call, Sean.
Gives the Longhorns a first down at the 37-yard line. 5th penalty against A&M. Sims throws to Roy Williams. He's pulled down for a gain of a yard and a half by Sammy Davis. 8th catch for Williams.
Boy, what
just 55 yards.
Sammy Davis, what a great game he's been playing out there one-on-one with Roy Williams. This is a setup screen. A lineman for Texas is going to come out late. That's zoned the left tackle. And Davis stays right on Williams even as he's getting blocked to make that play. And that was one thing that the coaches said Davis had to get better at, was making tackles, and he has improved.
2nd and 8. Sims trying to communicate with the lineman with the deafening noise. The blitz, they run into it. And Penwright wraps up Cedric Benson. Benson walks slowly with a slight limp, now trots to the sideline with 3rd down upcoming.
And there has been just no room. A couple of runs for Benson today where he's got blocking. This time, Mike Hankwitz takes a little gamble on a running play. If Benson finds a seam in that blitz, but disciplined blitz by the A&M guys who were coming off the edge, they stayed in their gap and gave Benson nowhere to go.
Brett Robin, the lone back. Thomas, Williams, and Johnson, the wide receivers. Third down and just longer than 10. Sims forced to step up. Throws on the run. Incomplete. Will there be a flag on this one? No. Sammy Davis batted it away from Roy Williams.
Well, Sean, Chris Sims said that given the outcome, if the outcome comes up for Texas, that he may have a few words for some of these defensive backs who said we weren't healthy last year. Davis said he was about 65% on a bad ankle. Well, he's not going to have any words for them the way they played today, especially Sammy Davis.
10th punt for Bradford. That's a single game high in his career. Trying to pooch it with the wind at his back. And he does so very nicely. Down at the 8-yard line by Irvis Hill. 10:32 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Horns hooked up with the Aggies in a dandy.
Totally new Nissan Altima. Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac. I don't know.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. See the man with the lonely eyes. Oh, take his hand, you'll be surprised. Give a little bit. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Give a little bit of my love. Oh, to you.
All around the world, Siemens helps companies prosper by providing them with systems and controls that assure quality regardless of quantity. Whatever the product, wherever consumers consume, we want to help them savor life better.
It was a Monday night thriller. Last season, Dunn battled Falk in a back-and-forth duel. Are you ready for more? Bucks, Rams, Monday Night Football at 9, 6 Pacific.
10:32 remaining in regulation play in College Station, Texas. Texas A&M looking for its 8th win of the year, trying to improve their bowl prospects. Thinking with a win, the Alamo Bowl might be their likeliest destination. On first down from the 8-yard line, a handoff straight ahead to Keith Joseph, and he was taken down by Corey Redding.
At this point, Sean, in this type of game that has gone back and forth and has really now become a battle with the wind and the field position because of the great punt by Texas to pin Texas A&M down inside. I know they want to be conservative and try to get something, but they have to get anything. And they've been a screen team. They've been very effective with screens both with their wide receivers and their running backs. They haven't run a bunch today. You might want to try to slip it in. It's a little easier throw for Mark Ferris.
Play action pass by Ferris. Wobbly pass, and it is caught out of bounds. Incomplete. Nice catch by Terrence Murphy. And he was over with his teammates on the sideline.
And not a conservative throw. A little easier throw to the out route down the field. But it took so long to develop. You had to start getting nervous with the pressure that Texas has had all day. Ferris gets sacked down around the goal line. You're looking at 3rd and long. If you don't pick up any yardage, now your punter, your gimpy punter, Cody Skates, has to get one off in his own end zone.
admittedly has an inexperienced cast around him due to all the injuries, but Ferris doesn't seem to be as impressive a thrower as he was last year. And his confidence is shaken a bit by all that has transpired. He nearly threw an interception. Hit D.D. Lewis, the middle linebacker, near the 10-yard line. And the senior from Houston couldn't hang on to the interception, and it'll be a punt into the wind from the end zone for Cody Skates.
D.D. Lewis, again, that middle linebacker in a 4-3 alignment. Looked like to Ferris that he had Terrence Thomas wide open. It's so hard because you're looking beyond quarterback depth. And D.D. Lewis, nice job in his drop.
The Longhorns should get great field position. Bates got it off, but Vasher catches it on the run at the 40 and is down to the 35-yard line. Tackled by Jonte Buell. 31-yard punt, 6-yard return, still 7-all with 9.5 left.
Behold the legendary Lord of the Rings. Behold Gandalf, the wizard. Behold Frodo, the hobbit. And now they're not just to behold, they're to be held. Now at Burger King, when you behold and buy a Whopper value meal, even when you hold the pickles, get a magical Lord of the Rings light-up glass goblet, just $1.99 each. Collect all 4, and behold Strider, the ranger, and Arwen, the elf. They're all yours to have and to hold. The adventure begins here.
Your search for the right financial partner brings you to the Pacific Life family of companies, managing more than $300 billion in assets. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
And counting. The new 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra. Still everything you need, nothing you don't.
The new Dremel cordless rotary tool with 9.6 volts of power and over 150 available accessories. It's so versatile, you just can't live without it.
Crowd ever to watch a football game in the state of Texas. 87,555. That's about 5,000 over the listed capacity. Jammed into Kyle Field. 7-7 the score. Fourth quarter. Sims going for the lead. Roy Williams couldn't catch it with one hand. Sean Weston had coverage. It's been Sammy Davis matched up with Roy Williams most of the day. That time Weston had one-on-one coverage, and the sophomore from Inglewood, California held up well.
Really nice job by Weston running one-on-one. Gets his eyes back a little bit on the quarterback, but continues to run. He's got the right arm up there, Sean. The official blocked out by Roy Williams, who lands very awkwardly there. Not able to see the arm bar by Sean Weston, but that was good one-on-one coverage.
From the A&M 35. 2nd and 10. The handoff to Cedric Benson. Gets away. First down inside the 25 to the 23. Respotovich knocked him down, a pickup of 12. 48 yards rushing on 19 carries now for Benson.
This big, powerful offensive line, Mike Williams, the right tackle. Great job right there. He just absolutely mauled the left side of that defensive line. And anytime you get that kind of push, they have not had it all day, but Mike Williams, really nice job on the one-on-one block, blowing up the left side of that defense and allowing Benson some room to run.
In a quiet day for Sims, he's thrown for 127 yards. Benson inside the 20 to the 18. Liz Smith made the stop, but it's 5 more for Benson.
And you start to see a pattern develop with Texas. Whenever they want to get anything on the ground, they're going to go behind Mike Williams, the right tackle. To me, one of the most gifted offensive tackles in college football. You mentioned his size, 6'6". He claims 360, but Sean, he moves like a 270-pound man. Very gifted athletically, does not appear fat. He just moves around so well.
Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, told us Williams is lighter on his feet than Leonard Davis, who was the #2 pick in the last NFL draft by Arizona. Benson trying to get outside, and he gets smothered. Managed to get to the 16 for 2 more. Rod Penwright and Wes Bodovich in on the stop. Last 5 games against some less than stellar defenses, obviously. And they've been running up the yardage and the points, averaging 47 points. Today, just 200 yards of offense. Their season average is 425 yards of offense per game and 41 points. 3rd and 3. Sims with a lot of time dumps it for Scape, the tight end. 1st and goal. Scape down at the 5, tackled around the ankles by Harold Robertson.
And a nice job by Chris Sims, seeing what the coverage was. It appeared that Roy Williams, who was running a fade into the corner of the end zone, had one-on-one coverage with Sean Weston. He did not. So you come back underneath, knowing that the safety has run out of the middle of the field, and you have Harold Robertson trying to cover Bo Scape one-on-one. That was a nice read by Sims.
Matt Trissel, the fullback, offset. Cedric Benson, the tailback. Benson took the deep handoff into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
And guess what? You run it to the right side. Mike Williams does a great job. The tight end to that side, Mike Jones, who'd been knocked out earlier in the game by Jay Brooks. And Mac Brown, who's been recruiting guys like Mike Williams for a long time because of their athletic ability as big men. It pays off for him.
Dusty Mangum puts Texas back up by 7. 10th rushing touchdown of his freshman season for Cedric Benson. That's a Texas freshman record. And the Horns lead by a touchdown.
Introducing the tough new crew cab long bed. It's the next frontier.
You can slow down investing. You can stop investing entirely.
There was one man who had a funny hat.
But you can't stop curious toddlers from one day becoming college freshmen.
There was a small man that someone put him in a bird cage.
Which is why your Morgan Stanley financial advisor will never let you lose sight of what you're investing for.
And...
Hey, Hallie Eisenberg, drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Hallie Berry.
Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Hallie Berry.
You know.
I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick?
Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist in regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
I'm going to do everything I can to blow you out of the lineup.
Brian Song, Sunday, December 2nd on ABC.
Cedric Benson, a 5-yard touchdown run to put Texas back up by 7. 48 yards rushing in this quarter for Cedric Benson to move ahead of the legendary Earl Campbell in his second on the freshman rushing list. Trailing only his idol now, Ricky Williams, in Texas history. David Pino's kickoff down to Terrence Thomas. Flag thrown from a long way down the field as Thomas went down at 24. Trahan with another special teams tackle. And this A&M offense doesn't need any handicaps, but there's another already going into the brisk wind. They'll have to start from inside the 20-yard line. If time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report.
On the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
John Saunders and Terry Bowden with scores and highlights. And of course, Nebraska and Colorado for the Big 12 North title and a berth in the conference championship game coming up next here on ABC Sports.
And as Mark Ferris runs out, some adjustments need to be made because they're into the wind. R.C. Slocum told Leslie at halftime that they wanted to take advantage of the wind at their backs, but now that they're into the wind, you have to be very, very careful. Any long throws, outcuts, anything like that, Ferris has to get a good spiral on the ball so it doesn't float.
From the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Ferris dumps it short. He had a lot of time but couldn't find anybody deeper downfield. Dwayne Goins for a gain of 2, his first catch of the day. The sophomore from Lamarck, Texas, tackled by Everett Rawls.
The other thing A&M can start getting going, you know, they had Keith Joseph running pretty hard earlier, but I don't know that play action really becomes a factor right now. Texas's defense is going to have their ears pulled back, rushing up the field, maybe some type of late developing draw to get back the rush of Texas.
4 receivers spread the formation. And inside handoff, and he is stuffed. Joseph barely had the handoff when he ran into Corey Redding and a host of Longhorns. Jermaine Anderson, the senior from Texas City, backup defensive lineman, also in on the play.
And it's the corner blitz by Carl Reese that does this play in. Also a great play up front by Jermaine Anderson. He probably would have made the tackle even without that corner blitz, but Carl Reese changing some things up, the defensive coordinator from Texas. He can have some fun now.
Under 6 minutes remaining. Loss of 3 on the last play, 3rd down and 11. Ferris out of the gun, a 5-man rush by the Longhorns. Lots of contact. Is it caught? Yes, what a catch. Terrence Murphy with Quentin Jammer all over him made the catch, and now the question is it a first down? It's very close. It is a first down for Texas A&M.
Terrence Murphy, who hadn't played wide receiver at any level before he came to campus here this August, had to fight off the coverage by Jammer, which could not have been any better, but worked so hard during the summer. He moved into an apartment here in College Station so that he could learn the craft, worked every day with Mark Ferris, running routes, catching the ball. And Ferris, at one point, told him, calm down, everything's going to be okay. Said he actually started to bug me a little bit.
Murphy was a quarterback in high school. 3rd catch of the day for Murphy. Ferris running out of time, needs to get rid of it, throws it away. Tyrone Jones applying the pressure on Ferris. ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast presented by Siemens continues tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Ohio State takes on Marquise Walker, number 10 Michigan. Then at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's the highly anticipated rematch, number 11 Washington, number 2 Miami. Some of you will see Notre Dame take on number 9 Stanford. Notre Dame needs to win out to be bowl eligible. There's Stanford and Purdue left. 2nd and 10. Aggies at their own 24. 5:19 remaining 4th quarter. Texas leads by 7. Then a 5-man rush. Made by Greg Porter. He's out to the 29-yard line. We'll mark him down to the 28 in the arms of D.D. Lewis.
Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator from Texas, changing up a lot of the different looks. That time, rush 3, drop 8, used the line stunt up front to try to get some kind of pressure on Mark Ferris, but because of the drop 8, Ferris not able to find a thing and had to run over to the side and find Porter late.
3rd down and 6. They converted the 3rd down a moment ago on the nice catch by Murphy. Ferris with time, running out of it. He is dropped back of the 25-yard line. Tyrone Jones with the 3rd sack of the day for the Longhorns.
This one was set up by Maurice Gordon, Sean. He's played a great ball game. Right here in the middle, a great spin move on Whitley, the guard. Flushes Ferris out of the pocket, but Gordon, a little undersized in there in the middle. They had a couple of big guys, Sean Rogers and Casey Hampton, they had to replace, and he's really stepped up and played well today.
Skate. Punt buffeted by the wind, and Vasher ran up to make a fair catch at the 50-yard line. Great field position for the Longhorns. Any kind of points on the board now could be fatal to A&M.
I know the restaurant business. I do not know insurance.
Our business has grown. My children have grown. We figured this would be a good time to reevaluate everything. Our Prudential agent made it easy.
She explained it to me in such a way that I felt totally comfortable. It's all on one piece of paper. You can see right where you stand.
You're going to walk away with peace of mind.
Why didn't I do this years ago?
Call 1-800-THE-ROCK for your free life insurance needs analysis from Prudential Financial.
horsepower Nissan Pathfinder.
Texas hoping for its 10th win of the season. It will be the first time since '95 and just the third time since 1983 that the Horns would have won 10 in a season if they can pull this one off. Leading by a touchdown. Benson runs straight ahead for 3. Amon Simon made the tackle. Speaking of Cedric Benson, he is the subject of this Pacific Lights game summary.
And all this productivity in the fourth quarter has come over the right side, and Mike Williams, the right tackle, paving the way. Cedric Benson early in the game could find no running room. The defensive front for A&M doing a great job getting penetration, but that has not been the case of late.
3:22 left. 2 timeouts remaining for A&M. Benson couldn't break free from the tackle of Jay Brooks. Amon Simon helped take Benson down. Gain of a yard. 3rd down and 6 upcoming.
And you're at the point where even at 3rd and 6 with the wind at your back, don't want to do anything dumb, and the way Texas's defense has played against a shorthanded A&M offense, I would think a very conservative play call is coming.
The Aggies have done a terrific job holding those big weapons, Sims, Benson, and Williams, in check. Now the offense dreadful again today for the Aggies, and they're trailing 14-7.
Timeout.
And Texas uses a timeout, leaving each team with 2.
ABC Sunday. He holds the key to a doorway that she never imagined
I've seen you somewhere.
would lead to her own past.
How did you know my name?
An all-new Alias. Then at 10/9 Central, A Mother's Plea.
Get whoever did this.
I will. A Father's Defense.
We're not a gang family.
You set him up to be killed.
The Practice. A new Alias followed by a new Practice. Sunday starting 9/8 Central on ABC.
Growing up, all we wanted to do was play. But as the world opened up to us, it became easier to get sidetracked. And just one single bet, one simple step can blow not only your education, but a chance to compete in the sport that we love.
They watch from the stands while their money changes hands.
The only thing worth betting on is ourselves.
Don't cry.
37,000 on hand. And a big third down play. Mac Brown and the staff used the timeout. 2:36 left. And first down would really make things difficult for the Aggies. They keep it on the ground with Benson, and they stand him up. About 2 yards short of the first down. Brian gambled the first to hit him and stand up Cedric Benson. They're in a situation, Ed, with the wind. If they could just get into field goal range, they could salt this game away in all likelihood. But 3 and out, then they'll try to pin the Aggies deep. A&M down to 1 timeout left now with 2:29 remaining.
And with A&M now looking at Texas punting the ball with the wind at their back. Not really worried about field position. It might go into the end zone. You might as well rush 10. They've got 2 guys out there, maybe even leave 1 unblocked. They have to force something to happen. Their offense struggling so bad without Jamar Taylor, their starting wide receiver, their leading wide receiver out today. Derek Farmer, their best running back and leading running back, out for today. Might want to try to make something happen on their special teams like happened to them earlier in the ballgame.
The executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz. Coordinating producer of college football, Bob Goodrich. Today's game produced by Bruce Clark, directed by David Kiviat. Our associate producer, Eric Posman. Associate director, Craig Bigelow. Production manager, Denise Nelson. Our entire crew appreciates Denise's efforts in putting together our Thanksgiving dinner last night. Technical manager, Jim Viola. Technical director, Beth Torra. Computer statistician, Jason Headings. The pooch punt by Bradford. And it is bobbled and free at the 11-yard line, and the Aggies got it back. Mickey Jones couldn't catch it, and he's very fortunate that Adam Black recovered the muff.
Back there all by himself because they did come on a rush. Took his eye off at the last second. What a nice job of coverage that time by Irvis Hill. Made Mickey Jones just a little bit nervous. He knew he didn't have any blocking set up. Took his eye off for that 1 second when it hit his shoulder pad.
If they're going to make it 9 undefeated home seasons in the R.C. Slocum era, they're going to need a rally here with 2:21 left and 1 timeout. 89 yards to go into the win for an offense that has been dreadful over the last 3 games. Just 144 yards of offense today and 9 first down. Ferris on the roll, throws. Nice catch by Porter. They missed the tackle. Nathan Vasher didn't get Porter down right after the catch. So Craig made it out of bounds of the 19-yard line with a gain of 8.
Dino Babers, the offensive coordinator, going back to rolling the pocket. Maurice Gordon again from that inside defensive tackle spot, getting up the field and getting pressure on Ferris. A good athlete, minor league baseball player, able to throw the ball on the run. Not a bad job. Get the ball over to the sidelines, near the sidelines, so that when the ball is caught, they can step out of bounds.
2nd and 2 from the 19. Ferris lofts it up. Incomplete. Intended for Mickey Jones. Roderick Babers had the coverage. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
You mentioned how Ferris just doesn't look like the quarterback he was last year, Sean, and I agree. But when he's not getting help, this is a fade route. Why do you stop running? The ball's in the air.
Coming to you?
I don't understand why Mickey Jones, in the middle of his route, when it's just a run by, throw a shake at the line of scrimmage and go to run by, why he would stop. And you start to figure out why Mark Ferris doesn't look like the quarterback he was, especially at the end of last year.
3rd down and 2. They're really in 4-down situation now, and the pass almost intercepted by Vasher, intended for Greg Porter. Must convert situation for A&M on 4th down and 2 at their own 19 with 2:07 left.
Nathan Vasher really has done a fantastic job as the strong safety. You mentioned that the Texas defensive backs had Roderick Babers. His nickname was Stonehands. Well, Vasher they call the opportunist because it takes advantage of everything. But that time, the opportunity was made by great coverage by Vasher.
Osler Fleming comes in, the running back. Ferris has a lot of time. Interception off the hands of Porter to Everett Rawls. who runs out of bounds at the 12-yard line, and that should put it away for the Longhorns.
Difficult throw for Mark Ferris coming back. He looked at Greg Porter early, who was covered on a crossing route. Looked at him early, getting a little bit of separation. But again, it's Vasher running all the way across the field with the much bigger Greg Porter. And Everett Rawls is the opportunist on the Nathan Vasher pass breakup.
We can talk all we want about the lack of a supporting cast for Ferris, and it is true, a lot of young and inexperienced players in there, but he has not been sharp in recent weeks either. The 26-year-old junior quarterback. Benson trying to run out the time. Just one timeout left for A&M. Evan Peroni and Terrence Teal made the stop. We also want to thank our graphics operator, Lily Best, production assistants with our crew, Jared Boschnick, and the incomparable Rick Cushman, director of production, Bob Tom. And special thanks to our help in the booth as well, our statistician, David Corris, and our spotter, Chris Helen. Brian Gamble slow to get up. With a win, this Texas senior class would have 37 wins. They'll be heading to a bowl game for the 4th straight year. And after winning exactly 9 each of the last 3 seasons, they're about to win their 10th this year. And with a chance for 11, perhaps in a BCS Bowl. Mac Brown said he knows it's very unlikely that the dominoes are going to fall in such a way that they'll get up to the top 2 in the BCS and play in the Rose Bowl for the national championship. It does keep their hopes of going to the Big 12 championship game alive. That would be next week, but they'll need an Oklahoma State upset at Oklahoma in Norman tomorrow for that to happen. Benson through a big hole, driving inside the 5, touchdown.
A bigger game out of Cedric Benson coming in against a very tough Texas A&M defense who put up a mighty fight today. But Benson, one of those guys, the coaching staff at the University of Texas took a lot of heat that Cedric Benson did not even play against Oklahoma. They were nervous about him knowing the offense. And to be honest, they didn't know how good this young man really was. A lot of his skills don't show up in practice. He is better in games than they ever expected he would be this early.
Dusty Mangum adds the extra point, and the Texas fans, a lot of them talk about that game as if Benson had played. It was a guarantee that they were going to win against Oklahoma. And as Mac Brown said, there have been a lot of good running backs who've gone up against Oklahoma this year who haven't done very much, and that Ivan Williams, who saw the bulk of the action in that game at the tailback position for Texas, had gone into that game off a couple of 100-yard rushing games.
And in the second half, they didn't run the ball very much because they weren't being effective. They figured the best way to drop Sims back, and Sims was off his game in the second half, and you brought Brett Robbins in because he was more of the blocking back on passing situations.
I'd also like to thank the rest of our terrific technical crew away from their families on this holiday weekend to bring you the sights and sounds of this incredible venue in College Station, Texas. Just the second time since 1983 the Longhorns come to College Station and win. These two universities only about an hour and a half apart. Mac Brown said 20 million people in this football crazy state, and for this game, even if you're a Houston fan, a Baylor fan, Texas Tech, whatever your favorite school might be, all of the fans seem to pick sides when the Aggies and the Horns go head-to-head. Mangum's kickoff, run back by Terrence Thomas through the 35-yard line. Coming up next, more Big 12 action, the battle for the North Division crown. #1 Nebraska, led by Heisman candidate Eric Crouch and that terrific defense, heading into Boulder to take on the Buffaloes, ranked number 15. It will be Bobby Pesavento, took over at midseason for the injured Craig Oaks at quarterback today. for the Buffs. So stay tuned to ABC Sports as our Thanksgiving feast presented by Siemens continues.
We were talking earlier about Texas, who they would want to win that game. I think they want Nebraska in the Big 12 championship. Gives the best chance of Oklahoma losing in the Big 12 championship. I think Texas needs a 2-loss Oklahoma team for them to jump above them in the BCS. Don't know if they jump above a 1-loss Nebraska team to sneak in.
Corey Redding with the sack. A loss of 4 back to the 30-yard line. 50 seconds left. 4th sack of the day for the Longhorn defense. Meanwhile, A&M is going to finish the season with 3 straight losses to 3 good teams. Texas Tech and 2 outstanding teams, maybe the 2 best defenses in the country back-to-back, Oklahoma and Texas. Quentin Jammer made the tackle on Terrence Murphy. A gain to the 38. It'll be 3rd down.
And statistically, Sean, you'd have to think that Texas will become the best defense in the country with this showing today.
They will. In terms of average total yards allowed per game, they'll move up to number 1 in the country. They moved to 7-1 in conference and 10-1 overall. Oklahoma with a chance to go to 7-1 and split the Big South crown, but Oklahoma would go to the conference championship game by
back, gives it to Walker again, looks for some daylight in the middle, searching along the way, and doesn't get much out of it.
I think we should mention, as we look at Walker's numbers for this season, averaging only 4.9, but he does have 18 touchdowns. Georgia is 5th in the nation in rushing offense. Pittsburgh is number 1 in rushing defense.
Ball is sitting right on the 34. It is 3rd down. They need 7. They're double wide to the left side. They send Walker in motion to the tight side, and Ballou straight back, getting some heat. Gets it off over the middle. He has a man, and a penalty flag goes down as the pass is completed to Norris Brown, the tight end. They dragged him short, Frank, and he was wide open.
A beautiful call by the Georgia coaches. It was a delay pattern, relatively safe, in that the tight end waited right on the line of scrimmage, let the linebacker sink deep. You can see pass interference against Pitt. It will be refused, I would think. No, they're going to take it.
It's
about
deeper
a yard
downfield.
It's a yard deeper than the reception.
That's right. There are your officials. Ken Faulkner's the referee. Zeke Martin, Buddy Coleman, Glenn Lipman.
Automatic first down.
There's the call on it from the referee, Ken Faulkner. And now Georgia's operating on the Pittsburgh 47.
Boy, did Ballou have great poise. Waited to the last minute just before he was hit hard by Michael Woods for the completion.
Clarence Kay is in now, giving Georgia a double tight end alignment. Lindsey Scott is lined up to the tight side, the bottom of the picture. On 1st down, the ball goes to Walker. Walker is hit at the line of scrimmage. And I mean, he is tattooed. Coming in there hard is number 55, Rick Cranack, and Bill Moss, 71.
Georgia goes to double tight end for the purpose of gaining an extra blocker. Pittsburgh coaches told me that they were going to change and go into an 8-man front from their 7-man front to try to meet their strength with strength. There's the total offense per game for Georgia. Very impressive, very impressive.
The longest run that Herschel Walker had this past season was 32 yards. There's a reason for it. We'll talk about it when we have a chance. They send Scott to the open side, give it to the up man this time, and the fullback is Ronnie Stewart, a senior out of Tampa, and he punches it down to about the 42 of Pittsburgh. So they're still short of their first down. They're going to be looking at about 3.5 to 4. Cranack made that tackle.
Cranack is the 2nd leading tackler for the Pittsburgh Panthers. You can see he gets a quick read, comes forward, gets the shoulder, wraps up Stewart with some help from his teammates after a short gain.
It's just short of the 42. This time you've got Scott wide to the top of the picture. It's 3rd down and a long 4, maybe 5. Buck Ballou on a roll to the right side, has some time. It's picked off, and it is intercepted by Tom Flynn. As Ballou rolled out, he had 2 men to choose from. He chose the wrong one. He went for Scott, and Flynn was there.
What happened, Ballou is going to hold the ball a little bit too long to throw in the middle. You can see that he should throw on the 5th step. That's the time the receiver's open. Now Flynn is going to get a break on the ball. See, Flynn is behind Scott, but Ballou held the ball too long. Flynn makes his 5th interception by coming out of his front and grabbing the ball.
And Pittsburgh's in business at their own 39, their first possession, as Marino comes up with double ride to the wide side of the field. Georgia dancing around, and Marino goes back, and he may have spent his 25 seconds. Let's see. Georgia players are clapping their hands. It's a Pittsburgh infraction, apparently, procedure against the Panthers. The offensive backfield for the Pittsburgh Panthers, as they are seen relaxing in beautiful old New Orleans. Dan Marino is your quarterback. He's a big guy, 6'4", 215. Brian Thomas, who's been their main running threat, 5'10", 185. DiBartolo is your big fullback at 212. Dwight Collins, 6'1", 210, a great leaper. Julius Dawkins, the flyer, at 6'3", 187. It's first down and 15 as the ball is moved back to the 34. Marino straight back. No pressure on him. He goes deep downfield. The pass is too long and falls harmlessly as Dawkins was on his way, but he had double coverage. The Pittsburgh offensive front. Listen to the size of these guys. Now, you won't believe it. Jimbo Covert, 279, a junior. Rob Fava, 250, a guard. Emo Boris, 265, the center. Ron Sam's guard, 269. Bill Fralick, only a freshman, 270. And the tight end is John Brown, a moderate size, 222. Second down and 15 from the 34 for the Panthers. Again, no pressure on Marino. Goes to the short man coming across at the 39. And he is caught after a 5-yard pickup, and it was the tailback coming out of the backfield, Brian Thomas.
Keith, what we're seeing is 3 or 4 men rushing the pass, and they're double teaming Jimmy Payne, number 87, the leading tackler for Georgia, 77, Covert, and also 79, double teaming. Marino had plenty of time. Eddie Meat Cleaver Weaver's in the middle. They've been able to contain him so far as well. It is third down and 10 from the 39 for the Panthers, and the third pass in a row for Marino. All day to throw it. Now they're running him around a little bit. He gets, nope, he still hasn't thrown it. Now he unloads it, and it is checked away. Beautiful defensive play by Terry Hogue. Terry Hogue, remember him? I'm sure all the Georgia fans do, because it was Hogue who blocked the Notre Dame field goal last year in this game. The defensive unit for Georgia, Carver, Payne, Weaver, Crow, Gilbert, Taylor, Thurston, all the linebackers in the secondary. Ronnie Harris, Dale Williams, Terry Hogue, and Steve Kelly. Tim Bobo, who played rover for the Bulldogs all year, hurt, will not play. Jimmy Harrell, there's Hogue right there, number 14. Jimmy Harrell will be your deep man to receive the punt by Pittsburgh on 4th down and 10 as Ganser comes in to kick it. Told you Dave Hepler hurt his knee in the Penn State game and is out of this. That's a bullet. Very deep. Harrell goes way back to his 6, retreats a little bit, now comes back up looking for a wedge and can't find much. The ball is up around the 12, 13-yard line. 54-yard punt.
Checking out digital cameras?
Yeah, I need FireWire compatibility so that I can email my pictures.
Sure. This one also makes MPEG movies.
Really?
He's excited. It's for our baby. Congratulations. Considered any names yet?
Yeah, maybe Sony or Olympus, but you're the expert, right?
We know how you feel, and that's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
How about an LCD screen?
LCD, chickenpox. We're going to screen for everything.
Sure doesn't taste this good in New York.
You up here on vacation?
No. Lunch.
Introducing the 260 horsepower Acura TL Type S.
You want to knock over a casino? 3 casinos? You gotta be nuts.
Exactly. 150 million.
Smash and grab job, huh? Slightly more complicated than that.
Oh, yeah.
Check the batteries?
It'd be nice working with proper villains again.
You're in and you're out. Right now.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 7th.
A year ago, I'm bumming. I'm seeing hair here and hair there, so I started using Rogaine.
Simple, safe, clinically proven to regrow hair.
Look, nothing here, nothing here. It's all here.
Rogaine, stronger than heredity.
I wonder how our home equity loan's going.
I'll check.
Want banks to compete for your home equity loan? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
Tonight on ESPN, NFL Primetime, then Sunday Night Football with the Chicago Bears and Minnesota Vikings, followed by Sports Center. On ESPN2, NHL action as the Blackhawks face off against the Red Wings, and later the NHRA Sportsman Series, followed by RPM tonight. And on ESPN Classic, the 30th anniversary of college football's Game of the Century with a Battle Lines documentary, followed by the game itself, and catch the new 24-hour ESPN News.
Looks like the same alignment for the Bulldogs. Norris Brown is out at tight end. Walker, of course, is there. Ronnie Stewart at fullback. We've got a time call for a moment. Pittsburgh man is going to the sidelines. And Buck Ballou was on this side. I don't think it's a charged timeout. I think we had some equipment repair, and the officials called the timeout to get the equipment changed, and so we'll go now. First down for the Bulldogs from their own 13. No score, with 9:13 to play in the first quarter. Over in the Cotton Bowl today, number 5 Texas beat number 3 Alabama 14-12. Number 1 Clemson's playing number 4 Nebraska tonight. Number 2 and number 8 matched up here. Walker trying to come to the left side, and the whole defensive flow for Pittsburgh is right at Herschel Walker.
Pittsburgh defense has tremendous pursuit. They control the block and then go out the line of scrimmage, taking the proper angle, holding Walker to a short gain. As we look at Jackie Sherrill, who's developed already into one of the great offensive football coaches in America. What a record he's had at Pitt.
The ball is at the 16, pickup of 3, second down and 7. Walker's carried 6 times, gained 12 yards so far. Goes to Stewart, the fullback. Ronnie Stewart wiggles away from 1, gets it to the 19. Feet taken from under him there by Rick Pozzoli, Dave Pozzoli. Dave is 248-pound junior from Stamford, Connecticut. Georgia's looking at third down at about 4.
I think we could expect either a run by Walker or a rollout pass by Ballou to get closer to the receivers should he try to throw the football.
It's a short 4. Scott in motion. Pittsburgh with a 6-man front. They're trying to send some folks to give it away to Walker. Walker dancing around, muscles his way for the first down out to the 27. He picked up 7 yards on the carry. There is the greatness of Herschel Walker right there.
Keith, that was a sensational run. Very little blocking. I think Herschel has made most of his yardage on fake pass and run, where he has plenty of time. He's just sitting back. Now he sees a little daylight, but watch this. Watch him jump over the linebacker right there, number 9, the halfback Thomas, and makes the first down after Short makes the tackle.
And it's a first down for the Georgia Bulldogs at the 27 as Ballou rolls it left. Wants to put it up. Got some daylight. And the big guys are after him as Buck gets it up to the 30 and over to the 31. Boy, I tell you, there was some muscle coming after him then. Belusi at 251 pounds, Moz at 260, and you get underneath those 2 big bullies, you'd know it, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would, Keith. And Pittsburgh plays a multiple defense. Here's the record for Buck Ballou for this season. That's a sensational year. He can throw the ball and he can run also. He's a good threat keeping the football, as he just showed on that last down.
Time remaining, first quarter of play. Barry Young is in at fullback for Georgia. Young is a 215-pound sophomore. Again, Pittsburgh's got 6 people up on the defensive front. They're going to be sending from the outside. They stay inside, and there's penetration there as number 63, Dave Pozzoli, locks Herschel Walker down at the line of scrimmage.
There's Vince Dooley. What a year he's had this year, and then last year, the national championship. One of the toughest things, Keith, I think, is to come back after a successful season, national championship, and have another great year. Vince has already established himself as one of the great coaches in America.
Ben didn't think he was going to have that kind of year, though, after they gave it away to Clemson 9 times and got beat pretty early in the season. But you can win if you lose early. You can't win very often in the national polls if you lose late, like Pittsburgh did in the last game of the season. Ballou on a roll to the right side, looking, and he's got nobody to throw to. Ballou is dropped for a yard, for about a 4-yard loss, and it'll bring up a kicking down for the Georgia Bulldogs. Sal Sunseri, who is the leader of the Pittsburgh defense, came out there, finally ran him down.
Here's the numbers for the Pitt defense. You can see how effective they've been. Total defense, number 1. Rushing defense, number 1. Scoring defense, number 15.
And they're a bunch of babies, most of them.
Compared to the offensive line, they are, Keith.
Very young. Broadway is in the punt. Broadway booms it out of there. That is a dandy. My goodness. Genza had a 54-yarder and good downfield coverage. Good coverage by Georgia as Tom Flynn took it and took 2 steps and down he went. Well, the Pittsburgh punter hit one for 54 yards. Jim Broadway just hit one for 53 yards, and we have no score here in the first quarter. We'll be right back.
Tired of crawling around on your knees or doing endless sit-ups? Introducing the revolutionary Ab Energizer system, featuring 21st century technology that's a simple, easy way to help firm and tone your abs without breaking a sweat. And it's also great for your lower back, buns, and thighs. The secret is Ab Energizer's electronic impulses that stimulate your abs so they contract and relax as if you're doing a sit-up. Now you can get up to 700 muscle contractions in just 10 minutes and get the tone and definition you've always wanted.
I've gone from a waist 37 to a waist 34.
Work out your abs anywhere, watching TV, at the office, even around the house. Why spend $120 for a single unit product? With the double unit Ab Energizer, you get 2 modes and 10 settings to maximize your workout. Call now to order the complete Ab Energizer system for just $59.95. It includes the Ab Energizer belt with 2 units, tightening gel, meal plan, instruction guide, and carrying case. You also get a free 30-day supply of Diet Energizer with its fat-burning formula. If you don't lose at least 2 inches off your waist in the first 30 days, return it for a full refund. To order, call now.
I want to say a few words about a friend of mine.
Well, we're rooming together?
His name is Brian Piccolo.
Saying I'm a flash in the pan?
I haven't seen any flash yet. He has the rarest form of courage, which allows him to laugh at himself.
It's my mental game that makes us winners.
At life.
Honey, have you seen the girls?
And that his opponent, Brian, is sick. I love Brian Piccolo.
We can't lose him.
And tonight, please ask God to love him too.
Brian Song, Sunday, December 2nd on ABC.
After an impressive 1981 season, the expectations for the Panthers were higher than ever. Despite losing 15 starters, this football team was still expected to be dominant. But that wasn't the case. Even though the Panthers were winning, they were hardly awe-inspiring. With more on Pittsburgh's 1982 season, here's David Sullivan with this Vintage Sports Center report.
The Pitt Panthers are undefeated, ranked number 1 in 1 poll. But they're coming under heavy fire and criticism because the defense is carrying the weight, while the offense is not scoring a lot of points. Only 14 against Syracuse last Saturday. It is a fact that Heisman Trophy candidate Danny Marino has thrown interceptions that total in double figures. And Pitt coach Foch Fazio is getting tired of the criticism his offense is taking.
Well, you know, we do have some outstanding personnel on offense. We have a great quarterback, outstanding quarterback, some pretty good wide receivers, and a pretty big offensive line. And with those ingredients, you would think that we would be able to score some points. However, you know, we've been struggling along offensively as far as scoring points are concerned, but we've done the job and we've put points on the board enough to win. Defensively, we've been outstanding, and maybe the defense likes to be on the field all the time. I don't know.
The Pitt defense is one of the toughest in the nation and has given up just 4 touchdowns in 6 games, 2 by the run and 2 by the pass. Defensive lineman J.C. Pelusi is getting tired of all the criticism being directed at Pitt.
We're 6-0 now, and I've never heard a team take so much criticism for being 6-0. We've beaten 4 top 20 ball clubs in our first 4 games. And you just can't expect to go out there and score 40 points against teams like West Virginia and North Carolina, who's the top defense in the nation right now. We've gone out there and we've played tough teams and we've won the ball games. It doesn't matter to me, and I don't think it matters to Coach Fazio how much we win them by, but we're 6-0 and we're happy with that, and hopefully we can win the rest of them.
The Panthers are big favorites to beat Louisville this Saturday and run their record to 7-0. And so far as the Panthers are concerned, the undefeated record should speak for itself, no matter the score. David Sullivan, ESPN.
Pitt lost 2 games late in the regular season and then lost to SMU in the Cotton Bowl to finish the 1982 campaign at 9-3. Let's head back to the Superdome now and the 1982 Sugar Bowl between Pitt and Georgia here on ESPN Classic.
With Pittsburgh and Georgia still scoreless, we pick up the action early in the second quarter of the 1982 Sugar Bowl here on ESPN Classic.
You can see Marino. He's signaling, watch it, he's signaling the play to the wide receiver.
Georgia fans have picked up on it too, boy, and they're all over him on it. Penalty flags all over the place now. Marino goes down. But there was movement along the pit line, and when there was movement on the pit line, the Georgia man just came after him.
We should repeat again. Once an offensive lineman takes his blocking position, if he moves, it's a dead ball foul, and the play is over. The wide receiver moves, and the right tackle moves.
Yeah, right tackle move.
The defensive man can charge the neutral zone and then get back.
Flags on Pittsburgh now. 5 times they've been flagged, and all of one of them I think has been a procedure call.
He's very definitely, Jackie Sherrill is complaining to the official, Buddy Coleman of the Southwest Conference, that the noise level should be lowered by the referee to prevent the quarterback, to allow the quarterback, I should say, to hear call his signals and his teammates hear it.
Yeah, but what are your parameters now? If you come up there, let's listen to the call. Procedure. If you come up and send a man 30 yards away from you, what are the parameters on calling for help?
Keith, I think that's a good point. I don't think you have to allow that wide receiver to hear. I think those men close by are the only ones that the rule would affect. Georgia has a 3-man rush, defending with 8.
Now Faulkner steps in. This has got to shake you up a little bit, though, Frank. You're down there knocking on the door, and now you're backing up the wrong way. All right, let's see if we can get one off now. The ball has been moved back to beyond the 28. So they need 21 yards for their first down. No score in the ball game. Again, they've got a man way wide.
Georgia again is rushing just 3 men.
Marino's going to get a little heat this time. He gets outside of it, throws it short. He's got DiBartolo out there. He's going to go for a first down, close to it. They got him at about the 8. He had flooded that zone over there, and with Collins wide, he had taken a good deal of the coverage with him, leaving the fullback open coming out of the backfield.
Keith, I think it's a little bit short of a first down. It's a 20-yard gain. It's going to be 4th and 1. Let's see what Jackie Sherrill wants to do. I believe on the last play, Georgia's secondary busted the coverage. No one covered DiBartolo, the fullback.
But the other factor to remember, too, they're going to go, is that Georgia really didn't get any pressure on Marino again. It is 4th down and about a yard at the Georgia 8.
Marino's trying to give the signal.
Going to throw it. He looked at Dawkins. He fell down. Throws in the end zone. No! It is knocked away. The Bulldogs have held. Dale Williams knocked it down. He looked at Dawkins in the corner, and Julius fell down. That took him out of the pattern. He had to come back to the deep man, and it was almost, but not quite.
Dwight Collins, number 32, is one of the sensational football players that Pitt has as wide receiver. He runs a 4-3. Dale Williams played some last year, number 9. Watch it all the way. The struggle, because Marino has plenty of time. But watch this arm. Watch him get his left arm in front and deflect the ball. That's a sensational play by Dale Williams, number 9, to prevent the touchdown as we see it. A happy young man.
And Georgia takes over on its 8. They dodged the bullet right there. They had that ball for 13 plays and came away empty. Herschel Walker across the 10, out to the 12. Pittsburgh had the ball for 13 plays, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. They're down on the 8 and don't score.
Well, Keith, we can only say that a passing team has difficulty in putting the ball into the end zone when they get close, because the defense has less yardage to cover, less area to cover, and it makes it tough. And Williams just made a sensational play to prevent the touchdown.
Double tight end in there now. On 2nd down and 6, Kay goes in to join Brown. Fullback, Stewart. Maybe a yard. He banged right into Pelusi and Mars. 7-3 Clemson, first quarter, trailing Nebraska as the #1 team got out in front 3-0. But then Nebraska came back to score the touchdown and take the lead. But Georgia right now is totally preoccupied. They can't be concerned about what's going on down in Miami.
Well, when you're on your own 10-yard line against the Pittsburgh defense, you got problems.
You betcha. On 3rd down and 5. Ballou gives to Walker. Walker to their 15, maybe short of the first down. Bulldogs have got to kick it away. That'll bring in Jim Broadway. Michael Woods and Bill Moss stop Walker.
Georgia very desperately needed to make a first down to keep possession of football. They need to keep their defense off the field. I'm sure the Georgia defense after that 13-play drive a little bit tired. They didn't make it. Good defense by Pittsburgh.
Tom Flynn is the beat man. Jim Broadway, the punter for Georgia. Flynn standing back on his own 45. Broadway gets it out. It's a pretty good kick. Back to the 42 goes Flynn. Fumble. Georgia's got it. Number 84 comes out of there with it for the Georgia Bulldogs. It looks like it was 84. That's Clarence Kay, the tight end on the kick coverage team.
You can see Flynn, number 5, gets the ball stripped out of his hand, but watch Kay, number 84, the tight end, a good athlete, just picks it up. The ball has to be brought back to where he first recovered it. But it's Georgia's ball, a big break.
He went down, looked like right on that ball, and about 9 people hit on top of him, and it looks like he's hurt his rib cage. It's first down for the Bulldogs. The ball is on the Georgia 49. Big break for them. And Ballou gives to Walker, and Walker is buried back on the 45. A little searching move he was making. I don't think the defense is going to give him room to be doing a whole lot of spectating, looking for a hole. They're going to get after him. Pro Bowlers Tour comes up Saturday at 2:30 Eastern with your old friend Chris Schenkel. Nelson Burton Jr. and ABC's Wide World of Sports is coming Saturday. We'll bring you the Hula Bowl from Hawaii.
Keith, as I said at the top of the show, if Georgia wants to win, they're going to have to do it by passing. Walker cannot do it alone.
That's the 2nd time in a ball game that Herschel has been hit for a loss. He's carried 11 times, gained only 23 yards. Right side of the Georgia line move. Number 75, Jimmy Harper, the right tackle, moved 1 count too soon.
Keith, one thing that's concerned me, and I'm sure Vince Dooley, as we look at the total yards so far in the ball game, is Georgia's inexperienced offensive line. Believe it or not, they have 4 sophomores starting. That's Clarence Kay, the one who recovered the fumble. 4 sophomores and 1 junior playing against the Pittsburgh defense.